Hello, J. Palmer. Hello, Rumble Magnus. Hello, Solo Galax. Hello, Blade Interval. Hello, Walker. We only have one planet left. Corellia. Also known as Tatooine. Morning Act. Ping to you, Flag End. So I have a hypothetical for y'all. Where that accent is. We're doing Jedi Knight next. And Tython. So I finished the Belsavis and Voss bonus series off camera last night. They both sucked. But here's the thing. I want your opinion on the story of the bonus series for for Voss, if that's okay. Let me come back to that, Jay Palmer, because I want people's thoughts on this really quick. So there's a story there. It's very simple. So just for those of you who weren't there last night, when you finish Voss, everyone's like, all right, we have shown that the Gormak and the Voss are the same people. We must reach out to them. Everything's cool. Everything's awesome forever. Yada, 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 right?
I demand to speak to the magistrate. The crime rate in this system.
Take your time, Cord. Anyways.
You're a long way from Coruscant, pal. Republic's got no jurisdiction here. You got a problem with the locals? Buy yourself a blaster and deal with them yourself.
So anyways, so we start up the bonus series of Voss, okay? Cool. The quest is immediately, alright, so the Gormak are attacking us. We need you to go kill lots and lots of Gormak. They also have super armor, which you need to go steal, destroy, and then prevent them from making any more of, respectively. So go do that, and then kill lots of Gormak. Because they're trying to find... Like, there's actually a side story there about some Sith artifact, but that's the main focus of the bonus series. Slaughter Gormak. So I think that deserves a negative. What do you think?
Report your ailments. You are fit for duty. Return to your post.
Yeah, we have a new dorky outfit, too. Oh, it's Cord. Wait, that's not Cord. Oh, that's Cord. Well, we'll have a cutscene pretty soon, I'm sure, and then you get to see it. Pretty dorky.
Here goes nothing!
It is literally edgier. I don't know if you can see these shoulder pads, Micromano, but they're much edgier than they were before. Oh, don't mistake me. Let me be very clear. I'm not asking what Voss should get. We already covered that. I'm asking what the Voss bonus series should get. Also, you have a dark versus light choice of allowing the Voss to find out that their ancient customs actually come from the Sith or not. But that's literally a side story. I'm only even mentioning it for the sake of completion. You'll notice I'm not even telling you the Belsavis bonus series because there's nothing to talk about there. I wouldn't call that a negative, Zactaf. That's just one bug that's not really game-breaking. Bugs either need to be severe or repeated in order to deserve a negative. There's a lot of reasons for that, but there's also the fact that bugs aren't necessarily repeatable. That's another problem. But either way, thank you, Judo Joker. Very much appreciate that sub. Thank you. If you want to put that towards something in particular, do let me know. No, Hasbus. He had to progress the story to unlock the shop. Unless I misunderstood. Because I think I actually know the bug he's referring to. Happened to a friend of mine. Yeah, I mean, Belsavis was literally just, alright, so we need you to go clean up. Okay. So go clean up this random thing, this random thing, this random thing, this random thing, and this random thing. Then you're done.
Does this make you proud? You fool the Republic into drowning you in honors while you fetch and heal for the Empire. Maybe you'll kill me, but not before I show the galaxy that you're a traitor.
I'd hoped I was driving you crazy, but I never meant it literally.
The joke's on you!
You're awfully trusting, Captain. A man helps you once so you can trust him forever. A woman gets selected so she'll be loyal to the office. See what your patrons are saying now.
Once that idiot captain takes out Rogan, the rest of the gangs will fold. We'll have the whole underworld locked up.
Then the Voidwolf will keep his promise? When the Empire wins, I'll have a planet of my own?
I never got to thank you for rescuing them from Rogan at Port Nowhere.
All these missions, you were the one behind them?
I never thought you'd survive the King's ransom, but it was awful good-hearted of you to clear Rogan out of my way.
Who knows what Darmus did with Trick and the pirates you sent him?
Now there's no one left to stand against me.
There's still me and mine.
What are you without my agents? Not a privateer, not a crime lord. Everything you have, I gave you.
He's put together a pirate fleet. The Republic expects an attack from outside, not from gangs within their borders.
Chain, Desora, finish this off.
You were duped. Doesn't raise my opinion of you, but it does put us on the same side. I'll get your back, you get mine.
I don't trust you, but I don't think you're smart enough to do all this to trick me.
Apparently it doesn't take that much.
How touching. Too bad it ends here.
You're two SIGs. We literally killed stronger than you on our way in here.
I'm man enough to admit you saved my life. Guess that's worth a ship full of blasters. You win. I'm just glad all the good you did the Republic was real and not another setup.
If we'd known the truth, maybe we could have teamed up sooner.
Don't think this means I'll be giving the toast at your wedding or anything. Beyond you and me, the Void Wolf's got most of the galactic underworld working for him or running scared. He needs to go down, and I'm too old to do it. But I'll give you any weapons you need out of my personal vault.
Not that I'm turning down free stuff, but does that do me any good if we can't find the scum?
The Void Wolf's flagship is at Corellia. He was part of the plot to force its government to sell out to the Empire. My guess is Darmus and Dodonna are with him. You want to chase them, I can put you in touch with Corellia, a fence I work with. I'm glad I never managed to knock you off.
So, I don't like this twist. I'm gonna have to chew on it a bit more, but I've never liked this twist. Oh, I guess we're just... Head to Corellia. We're on Tatooine at the moment, although we won't be for a few seconds. It's, at best, badly handled, Drahexia. And at worst is a waste of time. A lot of the Smuggler stuff suffers from lack of structure. The connective tissue of the Smuggler story is extraordinarily weak. There's good individual moments, but they don't know how to connect them properly. I've learned from fighting with you. You stay cool, let your enemies batter themselves against you. They yell far too loudly. Watching you helps me direct my rage. It should serve me, not drive me.
My fighting style pretty much comes down to, I really don't like pain.
I do not mind pain. What the hell, Bodar? Okay. I love pain. Yeah, pain. Pain. I'm gonna put this under all, I think. What's up, Gus? Give me a ray of sunshine here.
They should make every Jedi kid spend time in a war zone. When you see what real Sith are like, it makes my blood run cold. And don't make any fish jokes there. I'm serious. It makes you see why the Jedi make such a big deal about not giving in to the dark side.
Isn't Don't Give In to the Dark Side kind of Jedi School 101?
I never thought I was the type. You know, like all Sith had to be these brooding, sadistic puppet masters. But Master Lauren was right. The road to the dark side starts with things we all feel. Jealousy, greed. They're all the seeds of it. I'd rather spend the rest of my life meditating on a cold rock than turn into that.
Sudden end to cutscene. Is it just me or the Smuggler companion's not great for the most part? Like, Gus is cool, Reach is cool. Everyone else is just kind of, huh? I guess that's not fair. Sparrow's alright, too. I like Sparrow. So never mind, I guess I take it back. About half the Smuggler companions are just,
I have learned more about the scum who betrayed my clan. Tiari Rook claims he has earned the title Mandalorian. But I heard nothing of him passing the trials of strength and courage required to join a clan.
What does it take to be adopted as a Mandalorian?
It is up to each clan. We do not care much for central authority. But no one would accept a new brother who had not shown his worth. I have called myself Mandalorian since I left my mother's side at age 3 to begin training. It is not easy to put that behind me.
Most kids that age are mastering the toilet, not the blaster.
Most kids are not Mandalorian. We start training for war when our bodies and minds are still elastic, to make what we learn a part of ourselves. I had a jetpack and blaster before I ever had a friend. Keba Jirir Garade, Jagisha De, Kotla Adalisha De, Kotla Shaya. Train your sons to be strong, but your daughters to be stronger.
Spar amuses me. She's got the straight man approach, which I like the Jedi woman we met back on Tatooine.
I do not presume to question your choice of crewmates, but I am curious. Why allow yourself to be surrounded by the weak? Only the Wookiee displays any strength of character. He understands honor. The rest are petty criminals.
We could say Corso has a good heart.
I can't tell you how many times the others have come to me singing your praises.
I don't value the favor of those weaker than myself. One thing a Mandalorian never has to question is a clanmate's honor. I could always count on the strength of my fellow warriors. I always sleep lightly aboard your ship.
Right. Let's go meet our one true love.
Guess who found a potential accomplice in the Dubrillian aristocracy? Feast your eyes on this hollow-embossed, genuine flimsiplast invitation. See that fancy Arabesh lettering? Hand-drawn, in ink, classy. Count Merritt Reneld requests the favor of your presence at a discreet location in the Galactic Senate Tower on Coruscant at a time of your choosing.
Shh, amateurs. Like we'd ever fall for something like that.
Nobody puts this much effort into a trap. Look at all the embossing. That took sincerity. Count Reneld is one of the most popular nobles on Dubrillion. He's also secretly organizing a rebellion against the king. His invitation is addressed to Risha Drayan, royal heir to the Drayan dynasty. He's taking me very seriously.
The Count sounds like the kind of accomplice you need to overthrow the king.
Well, I guess we're going to go do that.
I'm contacting him by holo to arrange our meeting. Wanted you here to help me get a read on him. Opening a channel. Whoa.
This is a tremendous moment, your royal heiress. I grew up hearing tales of the Drayan dynasty, the great battles our ancestors fought. I never believed I'd meet a member of that proud bloodline in person. You have my deepest sympathies for your family's exile.
From what I've seen, the Drayans earned a kick out the door.
You must be the starship captain who recovered the crown of Dubrillion. My world is in your debt.
The king wants that crown, and my head. He won't be happy if he finds out we're talking.
The man has lost all reason. He must be removed from power, but in a way that spares our world a bloody civil war. I believe the common people and aristocracy alike would embrace the Drayan dynasty heir, especially if she wears the crown of Dubrillion.
I don't know. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Clark here.
Nothing is ever that easy. Skip to the part where our lives get complicated.
It will not be enough to dethrone the king. He must be replaced by someone that people view as one of their own. Right now, you are an outsider. The only way to change that is to marry someone from the existing aristocracy.
Get married? To who?
To him.
Well, the only available suitor is... Great stars, this is awkward. I am offering myself in marriage to you.
You sound a little nervous, Count. Is your heart really in this?
Forgive my hesitance. I only feared insulting the lady with my abruptness. The circumstances are far from ideal. I understand my proposal is abrupt, but I wished to make my intentions clear and not waste your valuable time. I certainly don't expect an immediate response. All I ask is that you consider this for the good of Dubrillion.
That'll be easier to do once we've met in person. I'm on my way to Coruscant. See you there, Count. Well, that wasn't awkward at all.
That was the worst blind date ever. You've known this guy all of 2 minutes and he proposes marriage? Crazy.
This isn't romance. It's just politics. Under the circumstances, I should probably take this meeting alone. Be back soon, Captain.
Fade to black.
Never talked to a complete stranger for that long before. Count Renald gives to charities, builds orphanages, creates wildlife preserves, and those are just his hobbies. You ever consider we've been wasting our lives?
I do everything for one reason. To get rich. It's straightforward, easy to remember, and works amazingly well most of the time.
Ah, the simple life. Anyway, I left the negotiations open. I told the Count I needed time to think about his proposal. That'll give me a chance to run a deep background check. If this guy is as good as he seems, he just might help me overthrow the king without getting married.
I mean, she's right. It's politics, not love, so...
Count Renald is a man of his word. He sends me daily updates about his rebellion's progress. Incredibly sweet, beautifully written updates. I knew taking Debrillion's throne would be a challenge, but this is getting complicated. I'm not falling for him, but I might have to take this marriage proposal seriously. It's smart politics.
If you think I'm letting some wealthy pretty boy come between us, guess again.
Don't you get it? My whole future will be spent with wealthy pretty people. When I am queen, my days of racing the hyperlanes are over. Can you honestly see yourself settling down on Debrillion? I'll stop bothering you. I needed to talk, and you're the only person who understands me.
I'm always here if you need me.
I'm sure there's trouble somewhere with our name on it. What do you say we go take all its credits?
The flirt option there, which I did not take, says, why don't you talk to the Count? As in, the Count understands her.
I can't hold off Count Renald forever. I have to answer his marriage proposal someday. But I want to make an informed decision. I was hoping you could help me out with that. In private.
I have a lot to say on the subject. I recommend we lock your door, so our conversation isn't disturbed.
You think of everything.
The hair sells it. God, that's a terrible hair.
That was a very persuasive argument.
Sweetheart, this debate's just getting started.
You've put some thought into this. I'm, listening. Intently.
What?
You know, crowns and thrones aren't that great. I could maybe live without them. Or you could trade in this starship for a palace. What do you think?
You're the only treasure I need. Everything else pales in comparison.
I'm not done talking to you. Well, that was an enlightening discussion.
Really?
I think I'm gonna have to disappoint the Count. But first, I need some rest.
Why?
Talk again later.
My favorite part about that whole thing, this stupid shoulder pad wing was like covering her face for like half of those scenes because he kept doing the shoulder cam. And so it's just blog. Oh my god. Okay. Look, it's good exercise. That's all I'm saying. All right. I'm still debating your idea, Court. I'm not ignoring you. I feel like I need to see a few more pieces before I can give a judgment. Knee-jerk reaction. I like the concept. The Void Wolf himself is honestly probably a negative to story for how irrelevant and just not well done he is. So, kind of with you on that. Yeah, no, we have a signal. It's fine. You just put a sock on the door. Where's my smuggler pluses and minuses? There we go. If you get stuck, type stuck. Oh, wrong side, wrong playlist. One of my girlfriends and I, a very long time ago, this was high school range, used to have the code word of going to play board games. It worked out quite well because I love board games, always have. And we actually did play board games occasionally. I've been dreading this. So, some of you may or may not know, I've actually been keeping track of each planet. In fact, last night, one of the things I did was I sat down and I figured out all the pluses and negatives for each planet, not just the worst ones so far. That also includes class stuff, so I'm counting, like, if a class thing is on a planet, I count that as part of that planet. Just to kind of gauge how the planets are. I'm not going to do, like, a golden number because I don't have any of the facts I need, but I just thought it'd be interesting to look at the pluses and minuses, because so far, to throw out a random example, the highest gross positives to story is Coruscant, whereas the highest gross gameplay pluses is nowhere. They're all at 0. Most gross negatives for story so far would be a tie between Belsavis and Tatooine, and the most gross gameplay negatives would be Hoth, which I'm actually a little surprised by. I stand by it, though, after looking through and analyzing and auditing my own thoughts there. Yeah, we also have Korriban, Tython, and Droman Koss to cover.
Group like you could form your own squad. We need all the help we can get. Corellia's under Imperial control. Every squad, soldier, and CO in the galaxy is fighting to get her back. We thought the Empire had taken the planet by force. Turns out, they had the Corellian Council's blessing.
I can't see the average Corellian agreeing to that.
The people of Corellia made the first strikes against the Empire. Unfortunately, they didn't do much damage. The Empire's taken over factories, shipyards, even local transport. The transport blockades become the most urgent problem. The Republic's got allies all over Corellia. But without access to the rocket tram system, most of the Republic army is stuck here.
Where do these rocket trams run?
The suspended tracks all around Coronet City. It's the only way to reach some areas, and troop deployment's crippled without it. Corellia is a core world, a major industrial hub, and one of the founding members of the Republic. If we fall here, it might be for good. General Aves knows more about the trans system situation. He wants to see anyone willing to help.
If it means victory over the Empire, I'm more than willing.
Some of the Imperials here answer directly to the Emperor. You might be needed everywhere. General Aves has a command bunker here in the spaceport. I'll tell him to expect you.
Ooh, excuse me. So, Jay Palmer asks, I had a thought while playing Mass Effect. Do you think dark side, light side options should have had a dark side, light side point rank requirement? That's actually a pretty complicated topic. Let's come back to that. Let's come back to that. Don't tell me. Someone set those things off. No, it can't be. You're still in one piece. Take my advice. When you go outside, walk close together. We've got unexploded bombs close by. Our AA guns winged an Imperial bomber and it dropped its payload as it crashed. Too low to set the bombs off, but sooner or later something will.
I'm not sure I want to hear the rest of this.
They all went off right here. Those bombs could ignite the underground gas conduits. Half the city would be in flames. Giga has died. We set up a safe area for controlled detonations. Getting the bombs there is easier said than done. Just moving the bombs will start their countdown. If they go off while someone's holding them, it's not going to be pretty.
I'd be happy to volunteer.
You absolutely sure? I won't turn away help. Take the bombs to the detonators area very, very carefully. We've got ground emitters there. And thanks to this, don't take any chances on things. Who knows what the Empire's been hooking up. Let's see. Looks like the core worlds, the founding worlds of the chorus of the Republic were Alderaan, Alsakan, Anaxis, Oxum, Beja 2, Brental, Camus, Chandrilla, Corellia, Coruscant, Duro, Esselis, Humberine, Kuwat, Rendili, Renan, Shaken, Tipasi. I actually don't recognize several of those. Look. No, J. Palmer, I'd rather make you live in misery and fear. I just realized I didn't acknowledge out loud that Judo Joker put that towards the Avatar Streaminations. So, let's put that towards the Avatar Streaminations. Thank you. We're not done with the spaceport? What's left? Corellia so much. I've been here 10 seconds. I already hate this place.
We can't just stand around while the...
Don't get your hopes up. It's a big show. It's going to take a long time to fun, make a Skullman's Bach fun. That's a tough question. Do I think there should be a rank requirement to take certain options? I'm sure it is, Mega Skullmon Spockmon. Sure it is. God damn it.
General Aves, I was told you could use some help.
And then some. I'm glad you all appreciate the importance of Corellia. Corporal Hartke explained we've lost access to the rocket trams. But he wasn't clear to know why. The Empire's gotten their hands on some modified neutron emitters. They're using them to wipe out anyone on board the trams.
Getting access to the tram is useless if we can't ride it.
The neutron emitters only affect life forms. The trams themselves are still mechanically sound. The Republic has allies all over Corellia, but they're no help if we can't reach them. We've got to find those neutron emitters. We've received word that Corsac may have intel on the neutron emitters' location. They've carved out a safe haven in the red light sector.
What does Corsac stand for?
Corellian Security Force. Local law enforcement and our primary allies against the Empire. Without trams, the only way to reach the red light sector is on foot, and Imperial shock troops control what's in between. If you attack the Empire's supply camps, the shock troops will be distracted. My escort will move to meet up with Corsac as fast as we can.
Got it. Don't even need to write it down.
Once you reach the red light sector, meet me in the Gilded Descent. It's an old casino turned Corsac fortress. I'll let Corsac know we're coming. We'll be right behind you.
On the one hand, I like the idea of limiting your options based on how far you are on one side or the other, because it makes you more locked into the choices you make. On the other hand, I don't like it because it limits the choices you can make. So honestly, I'm not sure I have an opinion on that, J. Palmer. I think it's one of those pluses and minuses situations. A pirate is a disgusting, despicable human being who should die. That's not hyperbole, and that's not a joke. A pirate is Captain Jack Sparrow. Usually used in fiction as a adventurer or an explorer or a free spirit, etc. Yeah, most pirates aren't in fiction at all. Most of the time if fiction says pirate, that's not what they mean. They mean pirate. Real-life pirates, those are pirates. Kenway is definitely a pirate, for the aforementioned reasons. It's kind of like how fiction usually isn't as bad as real life gets. For reasons we've discussed many times. It's a similar concept. I don't know, Evo. I've never met any. That's all I can say on that one. Well, we're doing all the planetary stuff, Justin. All the primaries, all the secondaries, all the bonus series, so... That's why Smuggler's taken all week. Listen, if robbing and killing made you evil, then, whew, we have to redefine a lot of characters across fiction. No, J. Palmer. Alright, this should be easy. What? Why is it blinking red? I don't understand. I'm actually quite aware of One Piece. Magma Dude is still the best. The Admiral. One Piece is a fascinating setting, but very not my thing. It's like coffee-flavored coffee. God, I hate this map so much. Ugh. I do love the idea of a superpower in an aquatic-based setting that goes away if you get wet. Like, that's just amusing to me. Anyways, let's see here. Do I think that the idea of family in Ezio's family refers to the assassins? That's why each assassin has a variant theme. Honestly, probably, yeah. It would explain it. I don't really think that way personally, but it is almost assuredly what the writers think. Nope, he'd still be a pirate hazardous. You've played Assassin's Creed 4, right? That didn't count. How interesting. Okay. Cool. Let's see here. Have I ever been told I have the brain of an elephant? No. What would it take for the Jedi and Sith to peacefully coexist in the Tor era? The Jedi would have to stop being Jedi. The Sith would have to stop being Sith. And that's the answer to that. Correct, Evo. I feel like we already covered this. No horrible. I know. The definition of horrible varies. Rest assured, pirates are under the definition of horrible. Honestly, pirates exist in the extant, but I probably wouldn't even call them that. At that point, they're just smugglers or, freelancers, explorers or adventurers or whatever else you want to call them. Han's definitely a pirate. He's just horrifically, monstrously evil, feeds people their own eyeballs, just all sorts of stuff. It's horrible. That's Han Solo to a T. Oh, no, absolutely glitchable. That... Oh, of course not. What? Who are you and why are you shooting me? Again, I don't know, J. Palmer. Here, I like this song, but I'll skip it for you guys' sake. Just hear this one. No. Okay, fine. New playlist. Nope, I actually want to go this way. God damn this city. Hondo is definitely a pirate. He's got a mean streak, but that's it. Again, forcing people to eat their own eyes. That's a good measuring stick. Anyways. Considering how little the Emperor directly interacts with the Sith Empire, wasn't the Dark Council just attempted a hostile takeover? Considering the Dark Council kind of already runs the Empire, I don't think they feel the need to. But to really go more in detail to that, we'd have to cover stuff that hasn't happened yet. So that's going to be the only answer I give you right now. Once again, pirates, Lataria. Eating own eye. It's really a very basic tracking method for pirate versus pirate, but it's a good one. It really clearly defines a line there. I'll hit that in just a minute. I let the question queue while I wait for this to respawn. Am I going to release a planet and class rankings? No, I hate you and everything and everyone. And I want to create a monument to non-existence. I guess that's actually it. We're actually caught up on questions. Woo. I can't interact with this. Oh, that's because it's done. Someone hasn't done that, but it's not me. Okay, fine.
I handled everything just like you wanted.
Nerves of Durasteel. I can feel those detonations from here. Oh, we located the bomber we shot down. They were shipping in supplies. I think you've earned first pick, don't you? No, it's an efficient government, hazardous. So what do I need now? Casino's right there. I should probably just go straight for that. We're currently done with that step, Giga. I'm currently done with the step. I'm not sure where everyone else. Someone has those quests. I don't know who they are, but when I find out, by golly. Like I said, a monument to non-existence might come on up. But yes, I do plan to release the bronze numbers of each of the classes. I will release the scores of the planets. We'll come up with the silver number for the Republic and the Empire. And that's honestly probably as far as I'm going to go. I don't feel like dissecting the expansions by expansion. So I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to play some Mega Man music. No, friend, your eyes don't deceive you. I am indeed Han of Rish, Grand Master of the Gilded Descents Tables. But now the Republic has made the descent their headquarters, I find myself seeking diversion elsewhere. And this war has provided plenty of opportunities to wager.
How can you literally gamble on people's lives?
People will die regardless of where I spend my credits, though so much death is a waste. You see, I have a sizable sum resting on the Empire losing this war. I dislike having my investments threatened. The Empire has approached several hidden cameras that I installed nearby years ago. Very unsporting. Especially since, with a little rewiring, those cameras could spy for the Republic.
You're getting something out of this, too.
Well, yeah. Why shouldn't patriotism be rewarding? And wiring the cameras for the Republic should be elementary, though the Empire might have objections, so you're going to have to horrifically murder them. I'm talking like you need to literally paint the streets in their blood, okay? This whole thing. Which of these is me? It's like that. Yep, Smuggler. There it is. What are you? Casino's closed until further notice. Republic military forces have reappropriated for the war effort.
You know where a man named Curao might have fled to?
He was arrested trying to bribe General Garza. Yes, that Garza.
The usual sort of business. My assistant, Hereda, of the Drawl.
Seemed the war didn't heed our wish, Captain, though Sharis made it back alive and whole. I trust you're here with Senator Dodonna. She arrived days ago and has been overhauling our strategy against the Empire.
Very convenient you showing up here. I'm not answering any questions.
You trusted me once, Captain. Has something changed?
Sorry, I get cranky when I've been jerked around by an Imperial agent disguised as a senator.
That's quite an accusation, considering Dodonna's word is your only source of credibility in the Republic. Do you have proof? The Senate will require evidence.
I watched a recording of her and Darmus plotting to betray the Republic.
Darmus Polaran? His relationship with Dodonna has been the top scandal on Coruscant. Freda, check our records. Darmus Polaran's a known criminal. Does the SIS list any aliases or safe houses he's used on Corellia?
According to the databanks, he owns a canteen and maintains a private residence there. I can send you the cords.
A slug like Darmus always leaves a nice, slimy trail.
If you find anything useful, I'm waiting on the link.
Thanks.
Welcome to the Gilded Descent. Coruscant had the intel on the neutron emitters ready and waiting for us. The emitters are at Coronet Shipping. They're a major distributor of starship parts and weapons. The place is built like a fortress. Unfortunately, the Empire's using it as shock troop headquarters. That makes a straight assault impossible. Too many defenses.
Sounds like you've got something in mind.
Nearly every place on Corellia has a back door. Coruscant thinks some of the Solonian tunnels run right under Coronet Shipping. The Solonians haven't dealt much with the Republic, so I sent a Corellian to do the negotiating. He should have been back by now.
Who is this Corellian exactly? Can he be trusted?
Cole Kantaris, a former captain in Coruscant's Council Guard. The man's impulsive, but he hasn't let me down yet.
Sir, Imperials attacked the rendezvous point. Captain Kantaris and the Solonian have been captured.
Someone tipped off the Imperials. Do we know where they're being held?
There's a captured Corsac station nearby. It would have the cell blocks and fortifications they'd need.
Corsac needs to keep the red light sector secure. You've got to free Captain Kantaris and his Solonian contact.
If they've been interrogated, the Empire might know your plans.
If they haven't, we're in the clear. Either way, I don't trust them with the Imperials for long. These Corsac stations have room for plenty more prisoners. Help them if you can. But Kantaris and his contact are your primary concern. I'll put Corsac on alert, and tell my scouts to watch for any sign of them. Get going.
We're done for the moment. Back to music. What would making Anakin a fixer in pod racing for the Hutts do to the story? Well, first of all, he wouldn't be the pilot in the race, and as a consequence, we wouldn't have the race, which is fine. It could be argued that this would make there to be no reason for Qui-Gon to really notice Anakin, which was the entire purpose behind the racing in general. However, that could also be counter-argued, since there's dozens of ways that you could say that Qui-Gon would notice, Anakin and be like, "Hey, this kid's got the Force." Like, he just walks by and is like, "Hey!" He just says it just like that. So as a consequence, I don't think that's a really big change. So I guess that's my answer to you. Very little would change. Do I think Han Solo makes a good general in Rebels? Oh, for the Rebels. I was going to say, he's not in Rebels. No. Han Solo does kind of grow into his role as being a commander throughout, like, 20 years of the EU. But I don't think he made a particularly good one for the Rebels. Like, the best thing he could do is be a charisma box. Now, at the same time, the Rebels could use a few charisma boxes, so it's not necessarily, you know, a waste. Okay, wasn't expecting a dialogue. The nature of Assassin's Creed. I think the Templars had a hand in 9/11. No, that feels more like the Assassin's territory. Probably an op that went badly, that the Templars then repurposed. Something like that. Let me guess, this cutscene had no reason to exist. Never mind. You saved me! I can't thank you enough.
Take care of yourself.
I will. Thank you. Do we have to do that for each of these? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm just gonna do these. I'm just gonna do these. Just gonna do these.
It's all a part.
Yep. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh god. Elite. You'll see, J. Palmer. God, I hate Corellia so much. Join us, Giga. You know you want to. Give in to the dark side of the joining us. Here, I'll even be nice. I will stand right here and wait for you. Because you can't be that far behind. 2 levels to level cap on this character. How good a commander would Rex be once he's promoted to commander rank near the end of the Reclaimers? An excellent commander. Assuming the Combine is overpowered and rolls over the galaxy to the Clone Wars, do you think Palpatine would be like Dr. Breen? No. Palpatine would never go along with that. Palpatine would be like, oh, okay, that's cool. And he would try to work some way around them or through them to try and, you know, figure something out. Palpatine is many things, but a collaborator, ironically, he is not. I mean, if you don't care, Giga, that's fine. I don't mind waiting. You need to decide right now. Or else. Oh, I can't draw my weapons. I can't draw my weapons. No! I can't threaten you with fake guns. Damn it! Fine, fine. If you don't, I'll do the most horrible thing ever. Okay, fine. Oh god, I killed her! I'll save you. Get up. Okay. That dance is horrifying. That dance murdered a woman. Alright, any Night Sisters or Force users like them during the time of Tor? Good question. Tor, to my knowledge, doesn't... Where am I? Doesn't really cover that kind of thing. So... Aw would be my rough answer to that. I actually don't know that much about the Night Sisters because they suck and I hate them. So I've never really actually looked into them all that much. Probably sometime around Tuesday-ish, Evo, if I were to guess. Maybe later, actually. I don't know. It kind of depends on how long Tython takes, because I'm not sure how long that's going to take. Sometime next week. Next Friday. There we go. We'll put for next Friday. Let's do that. I've got to release the one last prisoner. The greatest prisoner of all. Bob!
Cole Kantaris? General Abe sent me to get you out of here.
Just in time, too. I didn't like the looks of those Imperial interrogators. This is Goss, head of the local Solonian Sept. She can get us inside Coronet shipping.
Suits me, not anymore. My people are in danger. I'm glad to be free, but this has gone too far.
Has something happened to the Solonians?
The Empire smelled Solonian betrayal. Now they know we helped Corsac and the Republic. They attacked our homes. My Sept is trapped. They leave their burrows. The Imperials kill them. They stay. They starve to death.
Even if you swore loyalty to the Empire now, they wouldn't spare your Sept.
Maybe not, but I made them angry. They take revenge on my Sept. If you can save them, go fast. Our burrows are in the shipyards, hidden in the wreckage. Imperials have my Sept surrounded. They will try to stop you. Keep the Solonians out of the fight.
You two be alright from here?
Place looks pretty cleared out. Goss and I will get back to the red light sector and meet up with General Aves. The Imperials will hit the Solonians hard once they discover our escape. You better move fast.
What is that chair doing, anyways, Gig? I've never really figured that out. Just weird. I won't even say horrifying. Alright, do I think you would formally reveal himself as Sith to the Jedi and form an uneasy alliance against the Combine? Probably. Palpatine tends to be quite pragmatic, especially when he's not in power. Once he's in power, he tends to be lazy. Which is probably a commentary on something. I missed that guy. I hate this planet. If I could write my own Superman story, how strong would he be? Let me circle back to that one. Let me answer Evo's question. So Evo asks, how does Imperial judgment happen? Literally. What type of setting, place, time, who's present aside from the accused and the judge? So, I know you're going to hate me for this, Evo, but the answer is, it depends. Some judges have an office, and they just kind of take things, and, you know, like, whoever the local administrator is, or administration, excuse me, is, will, you know, be like, hey! Here's the thing for the day. That's gonna bug me. I can't think of the word. Docket. There we go. Here's the docket for the day. Well, that depends, doesn't it, Evo? Quite a few judges don't even deal in criminal cases, after all. Why would they? Oh, hello. Where did you come from? Were you just standing there watching me walk up and disable your camera? God, Imperials are just stupid sometimes. Alright, whatever. Where's the other one? Probably this way, if I were to guess. Okay, it's a criminal case. What did the criminal do? Excuse me, what are they accused of doing? God dang it. What? Why? Also, why do cloaks just exist in Star Wars now? Personal cloaks. Just, okay, look. Just ignore everything. Go to the cantina. Get a booze. Wait, hang on. Yep, nope. That is a quest I have. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dakota, that is the answer. Murder! Wow! Okay, that's unusual. Alright, so let's see. Let me think about that. Is this in a core world, a median world, or a periphery world? Or area? Listen, all I'm saying is that stealth is the best invention ever.
Darmus, this is Nevis, kid. Those blasted Imperials are getting closer. We're ready to risk your plan. Meet us by the Pirates' Hall Cantina. Every true Corellian patriot will be there. We'll blow open Supply Tunnel 26 and come up right in the middle of the Imperial forces. We'll hit those leeches where it hurts. The Council won't sell Corellia out from under her native sons.
No, it matters quite a bit, Evo.
Dharma seemed to have hooked up with some rebel leader named Nevis Kit. They're trying to blow open, Supply Tunnel 26?
Darmus ingratiated himself quickly then. Nevis Kit used to be a captain in Corsac, the Corellian police force. Now he leads our fiercest squadron of guerrilla defenders.
Open Supply Tunnel 26. That's lunacy. It's sabotage. It's treachery piled on treason. Clearing the tunnel gives the Imperials a straight path to our hearts.
Why is this tunnel so important?
The Salonian tunnel network is a labyrinth that I hate navigating that connects every undercity of the city to the rest of the planet. Supply Tunnel 26 is the main artery into what humans call the Red Light Sector. It cost many lives to block it so we can claim that ground.
We need to keep that tunnel sealed. The Red Light Sector's one of our only safe zones.
Never thought a beautiful Jedi would be asking me into a red light sector. But I'm happy to oblige.
From what Risha's said, you should know your way around. Go now and stop Nevis Kit from carrying out this mad plan before the Imperials overrun us. And bring Darmus back alive. His testimony is worth far more than his head.
Ain't that the truth? Listen, you gotta flirt. It's the law. It's okay. We're almost done with Smuggler. Honestly. I don't know where that accent came from. But just to finish making my point really quick. Like, you gotta understand a trial and the proceedings and function thereof would be very different between, say, Tatooine and Coruscant, right? Hence why I was asking for specifics. Oh, I'm gonna be flirting all the time on Agent. Gilfaberry will... That's a lie. I'm not gonna be doing that. After all, Agent will be female, I do believe. I guess we're going to get this way. So you said Core World. I really needed more details to go into this, but let me think about this for a moment. So, we've got Takoida. Takoida was found carrying a knife, which is covered in blood. And standing over Gum Gum. So that sucks. So Takoida is obviously accused of killing Gum Gum, murdering Gum Gum. So what would happen under those circumstances is the military would step in almost immediately for something that high profile. Like, local police aren't equipped to deal with something that's actually serious like that. So, military steps in immediately. And I'm like, hey, what's up? Grab. Probably sedate immediately, just straight up. A little bird tells me you're taking care of those cameras. You should know certain parties wagered on you failing. I, of course, took the smart bet, but my conscience insists I give you a share of the winnings.
I know just where I'll be spending these.
If you're part of the war effort, my bet on the Empire losing looks rosier than ever. Maybe I'll buy a planet. So, military grabs Takoida, sedates him, and drags him to the front of the local judge's queue. Like that. So, it would be kind of an immediate thing. Who would wreck a casino? This is supposed to be gambling, not... Oh, whatever. And then the judge would look at them. Say, what? The officer would be like, so, this, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. And then the judge would know the truth of the circumstance, pronounce judgment, then the military would carry it out. Just like that. Again, Something that high profile would jump to the top of the queue pretty much regardless. What if it's not him? Then obviously we would have to figure out what the hell Takoida was doing there holding a knife that is bloody over a corpse. But that's okay. The judge can figure that out pretty quickly. Why would they need witnesses, Evo? Oh, you mean someone to witness the judgment. That's not what I thought you meant. Hang on. Bring in Ect. And Ect is looking at it like, yeah, I saw that Takoida. Grabbed the knife and just stabbed her like 3 times in a row. It's terrible. All the stabbing. I saw it. I saw it. And that's what X's voice is now, canonically, so I hope you appreciate that. That's never occurred to me, Evo, so let me think on it for a minute.
Acid. What about old Ben Cahob?
They cut him to pieces, left him on the counter in his tap cafe. You, want me to notify his wife?
I should be the one. Just process the scene. Denote out. Welcome to Blue Sector, Gangland Central. For the thugs around here, war is good for business. And I've got terrified citizens to prove it.
Civilian attacks don't faze you.
Not these days. Blue Sector's always had gang trouble, but lately the dominant set, the Coronas, they crossed a line. Their thing used to be hijacking supply runs and armed robbery, the usual stuff. Now they're shaking down folks just trying to help the rebellion. Ben Cahob stockpiling medkits for Republic troops? Great! Cut them down and take the kits. It's enough to make you sick.
Is there a reason you're whining to me about it?
Help me stop them.
Jesus, Giga.
Maybe they got greedy, or maybe they got in bed with the Empire. Either way, 2 things will happen. Innocent people are gonna keep dying, and support for the rebellion's gonna suffer. Look, I know it's not your job, but the Corona hideouts got assault cannons, shields. My boys would be slaughtered. We need military help.
I'll have that filth neutralized in no time.
I can't tell you how glad I am to hear that. Just be careful. They've got defenses in place you'll have to take out, and they're as mean as any Sith.
Soldier, Havoc Squad, right? You're just what I need right now. Your friends too, if they're willing. Name's Halloway. SIS observer, analyst, and right now, helpless bystander.
What's the nature of this task?
One of the last pro-Republic counselors was on a transport headed off-world. The Imperials shot it down over hostile territory. The tracking device on the counselor indicated that he survived the crash, but it failed shortly after.
I'll find him. You got my word on that.
The imps have already started moving on the crash site. You'll need to hurry to have any chance of finding him first. This is the location of the crash site, an old resistance hideout nearby. I'll be watching.
Witnesses. Nope, no need for those. That's what the military is there for. Now, what if Takoida confesses before facing the judge? What would specifically happen is the military officers in charge would, officer in charge, would notate that in the report and then go out of their way to not mention it to the judge. It is standard policy to give the judge the minimal amount of information when asking for a criminal judgment. The reason being is because the judge can get information better than they have the capacity to, and they don't want to bias the judge into asking the wrong questions. This is right. So the officer would keep that to themselves. I've always wondered about these particular types of tunnels. Tor uses them a lot. Usually in the city planets like Nar Shaddaa, Coruscant, and of course, Corellia. They are super not, Evo. Not in that kind of a case. They're probably still unconscious.
Corellia will not fall.
When we blow this tunnel, we'll pour down on the Empire like an erupting volcano. We...
Hi.
Him, the Imperial traitor. Will we let him sell Corellia to the Void Wolf? Or teach him how wrong he is?
Traitor! You're dead. Nobody turns against Corellia.
Why does everyone always believe the worst of me?
Because so often it's true. I already told them how you stole Bamoran weapons and White Maw cloaking technology for the Void Wolf. Many of them were quite offended by such behavior from someone on a senator's payroll.
Blast him to pieces!
He's the one who tricked me into helping the Empire, just like he's trying to trick you.
You think they'll believe you were blind enough to serve the Void Wolf for so long without question? Balmora, Hoth, Voss, Belsavus. I can't think of anyone who's helped him more. Either I'm a greater mastermind than anyone would credit, or you are seriously dumber than you look.
The Void Wolf has agents everywhere, even the Senate. We have to stop him, starting right here.
What does the Senate have to do with Corellia? This is our planet! Our fight!
Who here knows this man? Is he a true son of Corellia? Who vouches for him?
I've never seen him before.
What you knew him?
We've been tricked! Here, help us hold the tunnel! Don't let the Empire in!
Done.
Code 11, I'm under attack. Send backup.
Beat, boop. Destroy. Destroy.
Get back!
It just casually turned like...
Darmus betrayed us! We're lost!
Nah, I got you back. Wait, hang on. Oh, that's right, I never got it. Oh, whatever. So, they aren't caught red-handed, but after. No real change? If they're caught after, that's an extremely different situation. Either way, assuming that there is enough evidence to warrant that they might be guilty, they're brought in, unconscious, and brought before the judge. Nothing really changes in the format there. Congrats, Bamber. Did you have fun? Beat, boop. Exterminate. Being
Looks
fancy.
as if you did need some additional support.
Darmus got away. He's fled back to his Imperial masters. Nevis Kit, Corsac. Sorry about that misunderstanding.
That's cool.
These aren't Imperial droids. They're local models. Counselor Kaikos' factory.
Kaikos was one of the counselors who opened the doors to the Empire. Imperial troops are using his factory as a field hospital.
Maybe I should send Darmus some flowers.
If Darmus Polarin retreated with the Imperial troops, that's where he'll be.
We've been trying to blow through the Kaikos factory. They've got it surrounded like you wouldn't believe. We planted a doctor on the inside, but he hasn't found any weakness in their defense.
If there's too many soldiers inside, they just need a good reason to come out.
No. No way. I'm not being bait. Not this time.
I'll do it,
We need
Gus.
to make the Imperials believe we have more troops than we do. If you draw them out with staged attacks at multiple locations, we can keep them occupied with hit-and-run tactics. There's minimal risk.
Then our doctor can sneak you into the factory to find Darmus.
You want me to target specific locations? Or should I just wander around taking pot shots?
I'll mark the locations where you need to stage attacks. Once you draw enough Imperial troops out of the factory, you can go in and find Darmus.
Our men will hold their attention while you rendezvous with Dr. Shibata. I'll tell him to meet you at the triage station. He can sneak you in along with the Imperial wounded.
Enough Corellians are fighting with the Empire that you shouldn't draw immediate attention. Call me when you reach Darmus Polarin.
I mean, I love the clone armor, so I don't mind. And yeah, I love this, by the way, Gigapudding. You probably think I'm deliberately looking this way, and you are wrong. This is literally just my actual current gear. Which just looks like this. For some reason. Anyways. Listen, Gus is a great role model. I could change the cosmetic later, but at this point, I don't care. I'm almost amused by how ridiculous I look. I mean, it's part of the whole Smuggler thing. I'm leaning into the memes. I'll try to actually look cool on other characters. And by other characters, I mean the Consular, which Malachor has been doing a lot of work to help me look cool on. The Jedi Knight, we might lean into looking ridiculous there.
Excellent.
Many thanks. You've saved us all. That didn't need to be a cutscene. There's a lot of didn't need to be a cutscenes on Corellia. I bet you the next one is one too. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet? Hey! Yeah, exactly, Blade Trifle. We're ridiculous. Might as well own it.
I might.
If I had ridiculous clothing in real life, I'd be wearing... You know, I do actually have a bright pink shirt. It's a Bubble Bobble shirt from one of the GDQs. I should have been wearing that this whole time. Should I? Not too late. We could do it. This is our last chance. This is the last planet. We're abandoning the Smuggler after this. Where, no, they're on the other side, looks like. Are they on the other side? No, looks like they're on this side. Okay. We'll get into the Sith side of the Force. With each passing moment, I make you more bubble bobble. Do you mind? God, I hate that crap. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm super dead. Oh, yeah. Yep. Ah, I'm ready for death. Ugh. Now, what I can't decide is should I have the tie, like, really loosely to complete the ridiculous look, or does it look better without? I don't know when your birthday is, Giga. With the... Okay, hang on. Higher over the shoulder. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we'll just kind of... There we go. Yep. Kind of let it, like, drape there. No, that looks... Hang on. Nah, I think we'll go without the time. I think we'll go without the time. My head. God. Okay, hold up, hold up. How's this? Yeah, this is my new transmog. What do you think? Oh god, that's actually distracting to see. Hang on. There. That's gonna have to do. The crime lord of the galaxy. Anyways, negative to gameplay. I was actually thinking about this. I've already given a difficulty curve negative in general. But the problem is, Corellia is just the worst. They decided to crank up the damage and health of all the enemies on Corellia just up to 11. And it's absolute nonsense. I've talked about this before, but the last 2 times going through Corellia has really codified for me how much Corellia sucks compared to everywhere else. So Corellia is getting its own completely separate negative just for terrible difficulty spike. Me too, Act. Hi, Tara. What do you think? And yeah, to really emphasize this, this is what really made me think this. I am level 78. Now, I know the game scales me down to 50, but we actually know that this game doesn't do scaling properly. So I am operating at higher than level 50. I have higher level talents and abilities. I also have pretty good gear, all things considered. My item level is 245, which is way higher than the crap they give you here, which is more like the hundreds. Low hundreds. I should be stomping this place into the ground. Now, that could be debated to be another separate negative or positive on its own, but the fact remains, this place is overtuned like hell. So, this place sucks. The end. Like, there's no way you can argue me down from this. I hate Corellia. I hate Corellia with every fiber of my goddamn being. When I was considering doing the review series of Tor, there was literally only one thing that made me not want to do it, and that is quite literally the thought of doing Corellia 2 times, and then also 6 times, kind of. Hate this place. Now then. Is that a bonus? Nope, that's a... okay. Okay. Oh, I wish I had donuts, but alas. Donuts don't stay good very long, so I only usually buy like 2 or 3. And they're gone in a couple days because they don't stay long. They don't stay good. And I don't live in Amsterdam. I can't just go to the grocery store every day. I have to do a weekly trip with my car, because that's the option that I have. Anyways. Oh man, I would kill for some pancakes right now. I would murder everyone in this screen that is red named pancakes. Death to red names. So you ask, what if the accused confesses and wants to meet the judge? The answer here is, of course, hi, Dunkro. The overall format wouldn't actually change all that much. That wouldn't surprise me, Kate Knight. It's just its own problem. So the only real thing that would change would be that after the judge has separately made their judgment, depending on that judgment, they would then be, petitions like, hey, they actually want to meet you in person. And then, like, the judge would be able to make the decision, yes, okay, I'll see them, or no, I won't. I guess, let's go... I'm not sure where to go fastest. Let's go across. That might be fastest. Oh, spaghetti. Good spaghetti is so good. But anyways, you also asked why they have to be subdued, which is actually something I'm a little confused by why you're asking, so allow me to elaborate. But this isn't a person who has... This is an alleged murderer, right? So, there's the obvious threat possibility. Anybody who is capable of murdering someone is, at the very least, a threat risk. So that's point number one. Point number two, there's really no reason for them to see the judge, and in fact, it's actually extra hassle and time consumption that isn't necessary. And point number three, and most importantly, why bother?
Those gangsters won't be giving you any more trouble.
You saved a lot of lives today. Who knows if the rebellion would have survived with the Coronas leeching off support?
This is at least a comfortable shirt.
You can get back to taking care of your citizens.
With pleasure. Be safe out there. And thank you.
Okay. Turn that in. Let's move on to that one. So the more we go into this, Cord, the more I like your idea. The idea that Darmas has just been running around playing the Void Wolf, or has just been running around playing the Smuggler, playing the Savak player, and is the Void Wolf, the more I like it. It also completely removes the existing Void Wolf, who is, let's be honest, a completely unnecessary character. There'd probably be some tweaks needed. Duh. Essentially, yes, Evo. Keeping in mind that something like a murder would be such a fast affair that the judge would probably be aware of and pass judgment on that situation in like 10 minutes. That's not an exaggeration. Like, we found the accused. We have determined what they are being accused of, in this case murder. From that point to the judge, you know, deliberating would probably be about 10 minutes. Just boom. Fast-tracked. That too, Blade Taval. The Void Wolf, the Imperial, could have just been, you know, some dude who shows up on holocoms. What do you think? Does the hat work? Okay, let me make sure to cover the eyes. Gotta cover the eyes. Never show your eyes when you're wearing a hat. It's cool. Always flirt. Never show the eyes. I'm not sure what this is, actually.
Paul's uva, kihecha tong kaku du
That would be my tomb. One sec.
What say, quick say,
The council will be safe with the resistance so the SAS can come through. Thank you once again. You're welcome. It's not going to tell me, is it? It's not going to tell me what kind of hat this is. Do not eat. As tasty as your hats look, they're surprisingly not edible. Really? Okay, whatever. Now, I don't know if I said this already, Evo, because my brain's going in 17 directions at once, but let's assume that the 10 minutes pass, the judge comes up with the judgment, and then, you know, it's like, all right, here's their sentence, whatever it is. Doesn't actually matter. It is Blade Taval. I actually need to replace it. I've already gotten a refund for it, so this is now the comical hat as opposed to the actual hat, which is a damn shame because this is a very nice, rather expensive hat. I decided to finally just get a good one. And I used their guide, their specific circumstances to measure it. Measured my scalp, measured the hat, used their thing, got this one. Way too big. How too big? Let me take off my glasses and you'll really see. This is how far down on my head this goes without my glasses stopping it. I don't know how this looks on camera, but this is literally resting on my nose. Yeah. It does have a bite mark, however. Yeah, this thing is so big, I'm not even sure what size to actually get at this point. Because going down one size might actually not be, you know, small enough. God damn it, this was back here. Whatever.
I've been following your progress. The Counselor is safe and sound for now. Once the coast is clear, I'll take a team for exfiltration. The Senate needs to hear firsthand what happened to Corellia's government. We'll make sure the Counselor can tell them. Fine work, all of you. The Republic couldn't ask for better defenders.
Are we done? Can I go now?
All right. Didn't mean to waste your
Why are you so evil, Giga? Jeez. It's nothing personal. I'm just wondering, why are you so evil? I actually do have a fat head. I hate it. Because it's very uncomfortable and very unpleasant. The reason I actually measured is because my head is so fat that I wanted to make sure I didn't get one that was too small. Like every other hat I've ever gotten. Oh, you know what I could do? Yeah, I don't have a hat store. How's this? I'm gonna do the sloping thing. That's not even working. Yeah, the store was like, no problem. This hat will not be too small. Thanks. Anyways. Oh, what the hell was I saying? So, if the accused wants to face the judge, that is something that can happen. You know. You have been found guilty of such and such. Judge, they wish to see you. They wish to face the person who has laid out their judgment. Judge decides. Can say no, can say yes. They're brought in. The fedora is a perfect fit, yes. Although different measuring standard for some reason. Alright, Giga. We know you're gonna destroy everything. We're watching you.
We're starting to wonder if you'd make it back. Glad you didn't bring the Empire with you.
The Solonians made it to the red light sector. The Imperials were too scattered by your attack to stop them.
Goss is helping her sept settle in. I didn't thank you properly earlier.
Good morning, Ross.
You risked your life to help the Republic. I just returned the favor.
That's worth some applause. Not everyone on Corellia does the right thing.
Your actions gained you more than one ally. Goss had her people confirm the Solonian tunnels ran underneath Coronet shipping. The Solonians were forced out of the tunnels by the Empire. But plenty of predators moved in afterwards. You'll have to be careful.
If the Imperials know about the tunnels, won't they know I'm coming?
They know they're empty and dangerous. They have no idea where the tunnels actually run.
As long as you're down there, you could clear some of those predators out. The Solonians would like their homes back someday.
Yeah,
the tunnels will bypass the shock troops, but their commander, Captain Granta, will be inside. Don't underestimate him.
What do I do once I'm inside?
You'll find the neutron emitters outside, somewhere with a clear shot at the tram system. This spike should override any Imperial security. The neutron emitters will interfere with portable comm transmissions. Once you're inside, contact me through Coronet Shipping's system.
Part of the problem in finding a good hat, too, there is apparently no standardization for hat terminology. I'm Elikor. Like this, you'd say this is a cowboy hat, right? Well, if you look for cowboy hat, you will find things other than this. So you think, well, okay, what kind of hat this is? And I went down the well a little bit, trying to figure out what to call different hats in order to try and find someone. And eventually, I finally just found this one by literally just browsing manually for images. You know what I mean? Okay, that one. That's the one I want. And I do like this style of hat, whatever it's called. It's just a little too large. You know what's funny about that, Tara? I recently purchased a shirt for my niece. She wanted a Kirby shirt. So I found a good one. And did my due diligence, figured out, sizes. Figured out her size. Bought it. Showed up. It's about this big. Like, literally, it's this big. It wouldn't even fit my middle niece. Excuse, please. You wear the colors of the Havoc Squad. Yes, I do. I am Leche. I help to scout the way for you. There are more than beasts in those old dens. Droids, specialized for slaughter of native species, guard the far end of the tunnels. They have butchered more of my people than can be counted. Yeah.
I'm not one for causes, but I'm on board for that one.
What say, quick, say?
The droids are crafty, always communicating in secret, always organized. It's how they hunt. One droid greater than the others commands their movements. Destroy some of the droids and steal their communicators. Use them to hunt the droid who commands and destroy it as well.
I'm on it.
You do us great help. We will not forget. I mean, I do like a good proper cowboy hat. Which this would be if it was about 2 sizes smaller. So, Evo, rather than being coy, why don't you tell me what you're trying to accomplish and we can work it out together? You know I'm good at that. Nope, this is the right way. I'm right. Hate these tunnels. Some of my least favorite parts of Corellia. It's all the problems of all the other tight and cramped spaces in this game. Plus the way overtuned nature of it. As Shadow Machine mentioned, this is supposed to be, a big endgame zone. Well, it sucks. I don't have a gun, but I do own Frostmourne. Listen, if I could just become smarter, I probably would have done it a long time ago, Svatoslav. Question. So, if I could write my own Superman story, how strong would he be? I've always liked the idea that Superman really is incredibly strong. The big problem with Superman is that he is incredibly fast. Believe it or not, that's what actually makes him ridiculously overpowered. I mean, even in several of the movies, you can share the details, you just choose not to. In several of the movies, there's scenes which really help to emphasize the fact that within literal seconds, on some other part of the entire world, he could literally be like, oh, hey, there's something going on over there, and react to it. In seconds. So, if I was to write a story about Superman, I'd pull down his speed. I'd keep his strength pretty high level, though. Because, on the one hand, we've got the DCAU Superman. Now, he is actually really weak by Superman standards. And that works for the DCAU, which is generally lower tier. That's kind of cool, and I like that. Hi, Mr. Red. But I always liked the idea that he's just the strongest. Just in terms of sheer strength and durability. He's just at the top of the list. No, really. So I'd probably keep him fairly high up there. I did lose a bet. I'm doing Corellia. I don't want to get into the Hulk versus Superman nonsense, so all I'm going to say is that that's a different setting, and I don't have to think about that. Thank God. Yeah, no, exactly. Being able to carry the Earth strong. There are other problems with that, but that's the whole point. There are plenty of limitations that go along with being insanely strong and insanely durable. We don't really need to give him ice breath, laser eyes, ridiculous speed, ability to space travel at a speed that's so fast he can effectively be going FTL. Like, we don't need to do all that. We're good. He's strong. Got it. Let's not even get into super math. No, the power that I would really have to debate is whether or not he has flight or not. Like, I'm okay with keeping it, but it feels kind of unnecessary, honestly. Super math! Look it up, Mr. Reddit. We're not making that up. Yeah, no, the ability to fly was something they tacked on, along with the breath and the eye beams, and God, he's gotten so many powers over the years. I mean, jumping really high is a very functional alternative. We could also just keep having him have flight. Remember, if he doesn't have super speed, then flight isn't really much of an issue. He's just... Hell, I'm pretty sure that if we just gave him regular old flight, driving in a car would actually be faster to get to his destination. So, flight would be kind of not useful for him overall. At least if he wants to go somewhere long-term. Flight would be like, I need to get to the top of that building quickly. Or I need to get above my opponent. Or my opponent is in the air. So, that's probably what I'd do if I keep flight. Like, I gotta keep the mind-wiping kiss power. Gotta have the mental powers. Time, G-Juice. The more control over time, the better. Save states, if I have to limit it.
Congratulations. You're inside. Did you give any thought to what might happen next? Coronet shipping is under my command. You may have beaten our defenses, but you won't get past my men.
I left a trail of your men behind me. It would be wise to surrender.
If I allowed survivors, I might tell you the same thing. Outside, the tunnels were your escape route. In here, you have nowhere to
Do you
run.
have any idea who I am?
Destroying the neutron emitters will get you nowhere. We have other ways of keeping the Republic under control.
Really, dude?
That's a little cryptic.
The Republic prefers a fair fight. I prefer a fight I can win.
Orders, sir.
Show the Republic how the Empire handles its enemies.
So, the Empire handles its enemies by dying pathetically in front of them? Actually, no, that's legitimate. That's legit. Wait, do you know what we're doing? That Spike's no toy. Those neutron emitters could kill us all if they're handled improperly. We're trying to shut them down, right?
I just need to contact General Aves for instructions.
General, huh? He doesn't sound like an engineer either. Don't worry. I want the emitter scrap too. Just let me handle the Spike. I'm a professional.
Captain Granta is dead, General. We're ready to shut down the neutron emitters.
Cancel that. Imperial troops are boarding the rocket trans, trying to cripple us before we can move out. If the Imperials hit us hard enough, we'll have no one left to send. We have to use the neutron emitters to wipe them out.
Okay. Imperials aren't the only ones using the rocket tram. Civilians have been smuggling themselves out with shipments for months. Oh. If you fire the neutrons now, you'll kill innocent people. Well, that changes that equation pretty quickly.
We can't kill innocent people just for a quick victory.
Then we'll have to defeat them the old-fashioned way. Let's hope winning the battle doesn't cost us the war.
Blah, blah, blah. Go murder innocents somewhere else. Ah! No, they're fine, of course. Why does it... Yeah, I was gonna say, just send the Havoc Squad after them. Alone, right? We got this. There, spike worked perfectly. Neutron emitters are scrapped, and we're both free to leave. No innocent murders. We would have had to been brought before a judge. Or rather, not brought before a judge. Judge would have looked at it and be like, yep, nope, they killed him. Instant death. Ugh, and that's the end of it. We have stopped a lot of super weapons this week, haven't we, Giga? So let's see here. Which Dark Council seat would I choose if I could? The one that the Inquisitor actually gets is tempting. But, no, I'd probably want to be on the War Council. Vengean's old slot. In this exact case? Oh, geez, that... So that is, of course, up to me, since I'm the judge here, since I know all the circumstances. Well... Let's see. Murdered a bunch of innocent people, knowingly and willingly, in order to gain a victory against their enemy. Yeah, probably just straight up execution. Just, okay, and they're gone. And that's it. That's the end of it. Look, you don't touch civilians. Oh my gosh, hello. Well, Dr. Doom is a brilliant scientist who's also a mage, Zach Taft. Magneto can literally change the magnetosphere of the entire planet by himself. That's a good point, honestly, Blametival. I mean, we're considered a super weapon over an FF-14. Why not here? What am I in here for? Nothing? Why is it telling me to go in here? God damn this game. What is the civilian... Nope, actually, hang on, there's another question. What's the civilian side of the Empire's economics in this game? That's a good question. I can't think of one, Evo. I mean, if someone has killed someone else, then that situation needs to be resolved, and they need to figure out what actually happened and why. So, pretty much 100% of the time, that's going to involve a judge. Yeah, I wasn't even going to get into things like Darkseid or Galacticus or any of the other nonsense people who are galactic-level threats. Wesker would be F list, give or take. There you are. I don't know, I did like what they did with the Apocalypse movie, where he was affecting the magnetosphere of the entire planet simultaneously by himself.
I handled everything just like you wanted.
Hunt begins. We will avenge our fallen brothers and sisters, all thanks to you. You have proven great friendship with us. We will not forget. Please take this. Proper to share with friends. Thanks, I think. Okay, what's in there? That's the bonus. Don't care. Cool. We can go here, I think. Who'd be able to play Dr. Doom well in the MCU? Fassbender. Yes, I know. I stand by it. Fade for conversations. But yeah, they don't actually go much into the civilian side of the Imperial. And we will cover what little they do mention when we go there. That's a good question. Here comes.
You made it out. We've been busy. Coronet shipping's still a mess. But the rocket trams are up and running.
There were over 24 civilians on those trams. Thanks to you, a lot of them are already off-world.
I'd be happier if any of them had stayed to help. We've lost supplies and men all over this sector.
Using the neutron emitters would have made us no better than the Empire.
I suppose you're right. Victory by any means is their department. What's important is we have access to the rocket tram. We're already moving troops and supplies to Republic holdouts across Corellia. But the Empire's not making it easy. Once our reinforcements move from the rocket tram to the ground transport, they disappear.
We're not sure how the Empire's catching them, but someone contacted us who thinks he does. Councilor Balos, of the same Corellian council that voted to join the Empire.
That was a mistake. The Republic's trying to free Corellia. I want to help.
I'll listen. For now.
I'm not asking for forgiveness. But your reinforcements will never get through Labor Valley without my help. Your men disappear once they move to speeders. The Empire's using prototype droids that can bring down any short-range vehicle.
Prototype, take a drink.
Where did the Empire find this technology?
Not found. Developed. They've rounded up the best scientists and technicians on Corellia and put them to work. My assistant, Dina Behar, has been researching the droids. I've instructed her to meet you in Labor Valley. Can she expect you?
I suppose there's little choice in the matter.
I'm a lot of things, but a liar isn't one of them. I suppose I'll have to prove that to you first. I should get back before I'm missed. If I learn anything else that might help, I'll contact you.
If this is a trap, we'll find out soon enough. Take the rocket tram to Labor Valley and find this Dina Behar. We need to stop those droids.
One level to go. And we'll be as powerful as we can be. Anyways, so Ect asks, what are your top 3 good Labyrinth levels in video games? So I'm going to cheat because I'm evil. First one I'm going to pick is the entirety of Super Metroid, which is an extraordinarily well-designed level layout of a labyrinth. And that is what it is, and it's awesome. I think I have a weirdo. Yeah, it's closer. My second choice is going to be that one labyrinth in Breath of the Wild, which is in the northeast corner of the terrain. Correct, Psychotic. You're a politician. Lie to the people. I actually agree with that, Dakota. Don't mistake me, I rather enjoy Dread, but Super's level design is probably superior. And I can say that off the top of my head because I know Super's literally by memory. I could probably talk you through getting through Super Metroid without looking at it. Yeah, I finally had time to last night, while I was doing the bonus series. Interesting.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
Sorry, wee! Plus for Gus. Gus plus. This is actually awkward and uncomfortable, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Maybe if it's actually, you know, fit me, I'd keep that on, but for now, yeah. Yes, Jay Palmer. It would make sense. I'm actually having a problem coming up with a third good Labyrinth level. Actually, I do have another hat. Should I go get it? I'm not going to describe it. Should I go get it? Oh, it's way down there. I'm just... Said my words carefully, gentle beings. It's absolutely vital you assist me. The Corellian Chemical Corporation's main factory was obliterated in the last bombardment. Its pipelines are rupturing into the underground aquifer. Unless we repair the damage, Coronet's city's water resources will become unalterably toxic in a few hours. Everyone consuming it will perish, potentially millions.
You must warn everyone to avoid the water until we can make it safe.
Hostilities here have disrupted communications. There's no chance of warning everyone. We must act. My work clan can repair the ruptured pipelines, but they require specialized materials. You have the thing. Blah, 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 blah. I'll go get the materials. Yes, everyone stop drinking water.
Missions are what I do best. I'm in.
Quest. That is a real quest. Ah! No, I haven't even found it.
Am I glad to see you? We've got a serious problem on our hands. 1 second. Hey, get Haig on the comm link. If they don't evacuate those people in record time, we might as well start digging graves.
I'm on it.
Sorry. Corellia Chemical's about to blow sky high, and we got a ton of civilians in the blast radius.
Okay.
What are we looking at over there?
The Republic tried to run a bunch of Imperials out of the factory, and the place took heavy damage. A fire inside's got the refining equipment ready to overload, and we're almost out of time. If someone doesn't physically shut down those machines, that factory will be one giant chemical bomb going off in a civilian population.
You already said that,
Do you
I
have
get
men
it.
inside trying to stop the overload?
That place is crawling with Imperial battle droids. I got a bunch of Corsec grunts and volunteers here. There's no way. Those droids won't just stand around while someone shuts down the machines. We're talking heavy combat. Look, it's a long shot, but we're out of options. Can you do it?
I feel like I've already said yes twice.
We have no choice but to stop that explosion.
I hope you're right.
Let's go. Let's go. God damn, dude. Oh god, there's another one. The Imperials bombed Corellia, attacked civilians, turned our leaders against us, and now they're stealing from us, too. Forgive me, I should be setting an example, I know, but who would want me as a role model? The Empire found one of our supply caches and started looting it. I couldn't stop them, I almost died trying. Those supplies were for the Corellian resistance, and I failed them.
Not everyone gets a happy ending.
Supply cache had medicine, emergency barricades, shield emitters, and the Corellian resistance could make a fortified position if I got them back. But I can't. They need the supplies, but the Imperials will just cut me down if I go after them. I think I know what you're getting at here. But where are we going to find a llama at this time of day?
I could lend a hand if you need one.
We could go with an alpaca. Oh god, Giga, what have I done? Alright, I'm gonna AFK very quickly. So, while I was visiting my family this most recent Sunday, they were talking about how I need to have a Lich King crown. Now, the problem is, they have actually distributed Lich King crowns as cosmetics in real life several times, But they're designed to be trophies? I forget what they call that, but not designed to be worn. In other words, they're designed to just kind of sit on your shelf, which has no use for me. But then, mantelpiece, that's a perfect word for it, because that's exactly what they want. It's just, just put it on the mantelpiece. It's like, why? Whatever. Hang on, I have to murder these people, because they dismounted me. Perfectly and instantly. Because this is Corellia. Screw you. So, my wonderful niece came up with an alternative. And I told my family that the next time that I got really upset at a video game, I would go ahead and put it on, and that would become my new Lich King helmet. So, since Corellia can suck it, perfect music for it, too. Hi, MTPY. I don't actually think this is anything in particular. I think it's literally just, you know, a toy, what you think. You still haven't told me when your birthday is, Gaga. I hope this is it, because otherwise, I don't know. Could Han Solo have done well as the smuggler protagonist in his shoes? Frankly, I think the entire story arc would be different if Han was here, because Han has a lot of experience and adaptability that our smuggler does not seem to have. We certainly have some luck going for us, but one of Han's best talents is his ability to say, oh, this situation's screwed, and try to make it work out, right? Our smuggler falls into traps and is constantly outmaneuvered by everyone. Like, we haven't been in control of our own fate on any level, shape, or form this entire playthrough. Pretty much from when we first set down on Orb Mantell, up to and including everything we're doing here on Corellia. That would be awesome, Shadow Machine. That is a good hat. What if they make one? Did I get everything? Nope, I need medical supplies. If I could just make merch, well, I don't really have a desire to make merch. Let me say that more differently. What would you want? That would be the question. Not what I want to give, it would be what you would want to receive. Yeah, the smuggler's still skilled, but my point is that Han has a little bit more up top, you know? Obviously. You can't have dive, but I'll give you a miniature dive. How's that sound? A low runner pin. Yeah, we already did that. It'd be nice to be able to ship it to international waters. That is to say, Canada! I'm still pissed at that. On. The lore coin. I've actually been thinking about making a low coin for myself. You know, take my old silver dollar and carve the Imperial logo into it. I actually had several people in Canada who wanted a pin when we were doing that. Couldn't get anyone to ship it to Canada. It was such a colossal hassle that it didn't happen. When I finally got all the paperwork lined up and ready to go and sent it out, they returned it. No explanation given.
Dina Behar? I was told you had some information for me.
Let's talk quickly. Numbers like yours don't escape the Empire's attention for long. You already know the Empire's droids are in a secure laboratory. Its toughest defenses are the prison-grade vault doors. The doors can resist any kind of unauthorized entry, except in an emergency. You'll need disaster relief droids to get inside.
What kind of capabilities do these droids have?
They're designed to withstand the toughest conditions. They can blast through any door and outlast any turret. The Baharan Droid Factory specializes in disaster relief droids. They're here in Labor Valley, but they've been closed since the Empire arrived. The Empire shipped out Baharan's inventory before shutting down the factory. You'll need to get it up and running if you want those droids.
How do I reactivate an entire factory?
You'll need to restore power by reactivating the factory's off-site generators first, and then start up the assembly line. There are some risks involved. The generators are located in Hellfire, and rebooting the assembly line will activate any unfinished droids.
Do I want to know what Hellfire is?
Local name for Labor Valley's generators and fuel lines. Half of them are still burning from Republic sabotage and Imperial retaliation. Once the assembly line's moving, the factory has to be reconnected to the supply grid. The machines will get their parts, you'll get your droids, and the droids will get you inside the Empire's lab.
Fully understood.
Once you've hooked up the supply grid, contact me through the factory comm system. That should let me verify that everything's working. Until then, it's best if we don't speak. Good luck.
I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to the end of the Terran Gambit, and that's actually all I'm going to say about that right now. I mean, there's a lot of extant stuff I'd like to sit down and make at some point. And, you know, distribute, I suppose. Since I am literally mapping out the galaxy, it, you know, for the sake of geography, it is helpful. So I could produce something like that. Not counting Obi-Wan's uncivilized moment, has there ever been a moment where the Force user preferred a blaster over a lightsaber? Not really. There have been a few times where Force users have started off using blasters, and then once they kind of figure out they're Force sensitive, they switch to lightsabers. There was a very brief thing in Rebels where he had a lightsaber that was a blaster, which they then never really used to any actual purpose or point. So, in other words, no, lightsabers kind of are the thing. Not actually sure why. And I mean that. Like, I get that it's iconic, but that's ignoring the fact that while there are a decent variety of lightsabers across the EU, most of those never see the light of day in anything that's actually visualized. And that's who I'm referring to, Dr. Winter. Yeah,
safety systems compromised. Threat of system overload high. Evacuation protocols for all personnel are now mandatory.
Do I think Garza would be completely okay with clone troopers? Of course, they always follow orders. And that's what she wants, a bunch of robots who follow orders. And if they didn't, she'd have them executed immediately without conscience because they're not even real people. Oh, there it is. I was actually thinking of Revolver Ocelot when I consider what a Jedi with a blaster would be. Like, I'm not the only one who's looked into that, right? Like, there are literal superpowers within, you know, both Marvel and DC, where the superpower is super aiming. Don't worry, we're just going to execute all these, excuse me, remove all of this excess property. Eva, that's what we're going to do. Throw it in the trash. Where it belongs! Let's see here. Would I say not being able to sleep for 2 weeks makes it sound like you're a zombie by that point? Literally, yes. My voice gets really low and gravelly when I'm tired. Some people have heard this on stream. Some people have heard this in real life. Like, whatever you think of as my tone right now, this is nowhere near as low and deep and gravelly as my voice gets. But it only gets that way when I'm really tired. Don't know why. Has a game story ever been so bad you started skipping cutscenes on Instinct? Yes! That... Okay, this is actually itchy. That is a problem I've run into several times. Hell, I think we ran into that in FF14, but yeah, Okami pissed me off on that one, too. And I would have done that in Persona 5 if it let me. I guess up, actually? I'll go up first. Do you believe that grind in Assassin's Creed Odyssey is such a chore in order to get to the player to pay for time savers. Intentionally made. Yes, last I checked, that was a proven fact. That wasn't debatable anymore. I could be wrong about that, but even if it isn't proven fact, it's totally a fact. Hi, Arcano. Your day has been well. Corellia, so far, has been 1 negative to story and 6 negatives to gameplay. So far. Where would I have Superman's speeds? Speed of sound level? Or it's lower? Much lower. Much lower. Like, maybe able to run, like, at absolute most 20 miles an hour. Something like that. Evo asks a hypothetical extant question. He says, what if someone outside Imperial territory who is falsely accused of something and is facing execution flees to the Empire with the specific intent of asking a judge to prove their innocence? Would the judge help its non-citizen? The answer is yes, absolutely. Now, there might be a few steps in between them and the judge, but once they get to the point where they have caught a judge's attention, that judge will not hesitate in order to assist them in proving the truth of whatever actually happened. Okami is a unique game. I don't want to say you shouldn't play it, but I have a hard time saying Okami is a good game. As we've talked about many times recently, because this just keeps coming up, I feel like a lot of people value uniqueness over quality. No judgment, by the way. And Okami is definitely unique. That's a good question, Savacom. But the problem is, if they're proven to be innocent, it doesn't really matter at that point, does it? I mean, either the prosecution actually believes them, it's like, okay, fine, you're free, or they don't, and that person is now an Imperial citizen. Would the Empire risk a diplomatic incident for one person, if that one person is innocent? Yes, absolutely. The purpose of a government is to serve its people. Period. End statement. I actually talked about this during my TNG videos. If the Federation is not willing to go to bat for a few people, then what's the point of it? This comes up several times in TNG, actually. Yeah, I was... Cough, cough, Maquis. Cough, cough. Gosh darn it. Do you mind? No, I agree, Shadow Machine. Unfortunately, Okamiden is not as good as Psychonauts 2. Although then again, Okamiden came out very shortly thereafter and on handheld, whereas Psychonauts 2 took, what was it, like 18 years to come out? Absolutely not, Blade Tribal. Don't mistake me. There is such a thing as math, but that's math, not morality. For years of traveling, yeah, no kidding. God, this planet sucks. If there... Oh, I already answered that one. What's my worst delivery experience? So once upon a time, I ordered a pizza. Now, you're not going to drag me into a polemic topic today, Blade Tabal. We're firmly within the realm of fiction here. Listen, Jaded Font. This is what I have to say about math. So, I ordered a pizza. And, you know, they had a tracker which showed where the person was. And as they were, you know, going to deliver it, I noticed that they're just a little bit down the road. Now I'm like, okay, no problem. There's a thing within the delivery app to message them. So I messaged them saying, hey, if you go just a little bit, etc., etc., etc. And I give them exact directions, very precise directions, to how to get to me. Where is that? I love this map so much. So, they don't respond. So I decide I'll go out and meet them at the street. I'm in an apartment complex. So I walk about 10 minutes out that away to go out to the main street our apartment complex is set upon. So I'm like, okay, I'm here. I will literally be able to wave, and I say, hey, I'm out here. I'm standing. At this point, you'll be able to see me as you walk by. I stand there waiting for quite some time. It's about 15, 16 minutes, something like that. I shouldn't say that. I don't remember the exact amount of time, but it was a decent chunk of time. It was well over 15 minutes. And then, before I talk to this person, I want to finish the story. Then I get a notification saying, your food has been delivered. And I'm a little bit confused about that. So, I check the phone app. I check the thing. And yes, this was the FF14 pizza emote. And they gave a picture. So they were over at a nearby Amazon distribution hub, out in the parking lot for that hub. And the picture was of the pizza just sitting in the parking lot. They just put it down in the parking lot. Took a picture of it and left.
Dr. Shibata?
Ah, yes, the new patient. I was told to expect a captain with a serious leg injury.
Nevis Kit said you need to get inside. The only way in is on a stretcher.
With the rest of the casualties.
Ow! You scum-sucking son of a hut!
Quit whining. It's just a leg. You didn't get your reputation without getting hurt worse than that. Now get on the stretcher. We can fix the leg inside.
I know what you're referencing, Hazardous. It used to be wrong, but it actually has been since corrected.
There. I've used a med pack on you. You should be fine.
They're just stupid.
And you've got your choice of analgesics to steal if there's any lingering aches.
You'll understand if I'm not brimming with gratitude.
Wouldn't hurt you to pretend. Nevis Kit said you're looking for that double agent, Darmus something. Last I heard, he was in the surgical wing. Now, I better get back out there before anybody misses me.
Yeah. So Don Crow asks, thoughts on Garfield? I actually still to this day have several of my Garfield books, compilation books. But Garfield is very much like The Simpsons. It was very funny for a while. Then it got a little bit less funny. And then it got aggressively unfunny. Like, so unfunny that I'm actually a little bit shocked at how unfunny it was. Have you read Garfield anytime in the last 30 years? Yeah, it would be funny if it wasn't so sad how bad it has gotten. What am I doing in here? Where's the... There you are. Can I... I can do this. There we go. Perfect. Hey! Hey! They walked out! They stopped being camera shy! And they're dead. Yeah. One of my favorite quotes that I still quote to this very day comes from an early Garfield comic. There are 2 tips to dealing with an enemy. Show no fear. Show no pain.
Once the docs change my face, I'll be dropping out of sight. I'm no good to the Empire if that idiot captain's got the whole Republic chasing me.
I can take your place with the Void Wolf. Anything he needs.
Your face is known too, Kaikos. A Corellian counselor isn't much use in bringing in underworld allies.
I brought in Corellia.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr. Soon-to-be hunted down by his own constituents.
You just don't give up, do you, Captain?
Why would I?
Alert! Alert! Break into the factory, send backup now!
Don't kill me.
Why?
Just don't get in my way.
We'll just be going then.
You caught me again. Too bad. I was thinking it might be fun to take your face and take over the criminal empire we've built, but I guess I'll have to kill you instead.
Why did I let you get up and get your blaster? Jesus Christ, dude.
Enough! I should have settled this with Sabak. So, Captain, what will it take for me to walk out of here? I know you always have your price.
Give me what I need to take down the Senator, and maybe you'll live.
Sold! She's no good to the Void Wolf once the Senate repudiates her. It was so easy to turn her. The promise of a little power of her own? She's signed on the dotted line. It will be a relief to return to a part of the galaxy where men are ruled by more than their immediate desires.
You're not going anywhere but the deepest Republic prison.
Oh, but you were there already, weren't you? It's in ruins. The Republic is too soft to kill its enemies. You let them eat you alive. I know your price. It's Dodonna the Republic really wants. Spare me, and I'll give you my whole dossier on Dodonna. Everything from the day I recruited her. It was easy, you know? One offer of the power she wouldn't have to share with 1,000 scrabbling senators. She couldn't wait to sign up.
I'll take the dossier, and your testimony at Dodonna's trial.
A good citizen to the end, I thought I cured you of that. Fine. It won't be the first Republic prison I had escaped from.
Yes, Giga. That was a straight up repeat. You know, some of the story arcs in Corellia are actually really good. Agent comes to mind immediately. I love Agent's Corellia arc.
I turned Darmus over to the Republic forces. I have his dossier on Dodonna.
Inquisitor.
Excellent. I'll have him kept under guard. In isolation. This line is secure. Transmit anything he gave you. I'll send back the coordinates for one of our safe houses. Make sure no one is following. Then meet me there. I don't know what the Republic would do without you.
What happens if you're romancing him? Warriors is a bit more simple, but still quite amusing. Warriors, we go after Barris's sister. He is not happy about that. Which is, of course, the whole point. I don't actually remember Bounty Hunter's final story arc, other than when we meet the Chancellor. And even that's just... Yeah, we're probably going to give that a negative. Let's just call that where it is. Where are we at? Where are we at? We need to go that way? Can we even get there from here? Oh, sorry, you're right. That was on Belsavis. Corellia is the entity. That's actually what I was thinking of. I don't know why I thought the entity was his sister. Can we go this way? Map is unclear. I guess we'll find out. Ah! That's neat, Orkana. Yeah, Barris's sister's on Belsavis. Or shock. What do we need, Giga? Because if it's Pretty Princess Tiaras, I got you covered. No, we've already built our Jedi Knight. Pretty sure. Sure. Elevator music. Oh, God.
Poya toka changa
Female.
tula do batawana.
You did good with a suture? Know how to dress a wound?
Have you been hurt?
Got a cracked sternum and a couple of broken ribs, but it's not for me. I got wounded in the field. Patrol unit, ambushed by Imperials. Hit him hard and the sedatives just kicked in. Area's too hot to send a medic. Need someone who can get in, fix my men up, and get out in one piece.
I won't blow this, trust me.
Maybe it's just the trank, but I think you can do it. There's an emergency med pack. Should have everything you need. This is just a patch job, something to get him moving, don't get fancy. Ah, damn it.
Sodro do uza alini piros class terek.
If you're looking to atomize, you people need to clear out. The Empire torched a munitions factory full of starship torpedoes. When the flames hit them, everything here says goodbye.
I've got business here, and I hate saying goodbye. Guess I'd better take a personal interest in this.
If you want to help, I can't stop you, but this is no campfire you can snuff out. The squad went through the munitions plant and tried putting out the fire. We failed, and I barely met it out. The others, they're gone. If we just extinguished the flame and removed the torpedo's charges, they'd be disarmed. I don't guess you want to give that a try.
Of course I'll do it.
Why's it all jazz?
I
was looking for a good elevator music song. I don't think I have one. No, the Empire... It's complicated. There's some stuff going on. Yeah, the Emperor wants to wipe out all life in the galaxy except for himself, because he's a moron. The Sith... they are not really thinking long-term, and most of the Sith who are here are either busy with their own internal squabbles, like Thanaton, busy with their own internal power struggles, like Barriss, or complete morons who've been deliberate here on purpose, see the Agent storyline. So Corellia is kind of deliberately being set up to be a colossal failure for all sides. Yeah, by the way, a lot of the Jedi who are here are also here, who are some of the less than stellar examples of Jedi. Yes, I do, Hazardous, which is probably sad, but I do recognize it. Let's see here. So, that was my thoughts on Garfield. Whoop! How do I feel about a virtual prison? Put a person into the Matrix to see how they behave, and if they're behaving, let them out in the real world. So let's keep this in the realm of fiction and not real life. So in the realm of fiction, where we can dump someone into the Matrix, it would certainly be a substantially cheaper and easier way to maintain long-term prisoners. I'm not sure I overall agree with the concept, though, because the only real purpose for doing that is it's someone you don't expect is going to be rehabilitated. So you're either holding on to them because you're doing so to torture them, which is not something I feel is particularly useful, or you're doing it because I can't find where the road is. God, I hate this planet so much. Or you're doing it in order to try and rehabilitate them, in which case you don't need to put them into the brain dance to do that. You can just do that in real life. So I'm leaning towards a no on that one. So Latario says, my Superman is basically just a ludicrously overpowered wrestler. Actually, I believe the term is flying brick, but yes. Or they're political prisoners. That's true. Sorry, that's fair. There's also the third category. Prisoners you hold on to because they're good as ransom material one direction or another. See, I don't actually agree with that, Blade Javal, because the resource that really matters there is not the space, but the people. You want to properly rehab someone, you're going to need real people to really reach out to them. So that would mean you would have to have those people also plugged into the Matrix. And you've just kind of increased your engineering costs, not decreased them. If space is the only requirement, then you can literally build a space station whose purpose is to be the rehab center. Or you could just use New Zealand. I hear they got the room. What if what they did was a... Dr. Winter asks a question which I need more context on. Dr. Winter says, what if what they did was a crime but not inside the Empire? Deets. I need deets! I need deets room! Abso-friggity-lootly, Evo. One of the problems that crops up rather strongly after the Swarm War is alcohol and drug problems, which get weirdly bad. I don't know why, but for some reason a lot of people descend into overuse and abuse of drugs and alcohol after the Swarm War. Can't imagine why. So, that's another reason to kind of overhaul that. Oh, music, sorry. That's a bonus. Don't care. Okay. Checking. Yep, that's just a bonus. Death to bonuses. And to the living. God damn, I hate this planet. Sorry, I keep saying that. I'm going to be really looking forward to not doing this anymore. I will never have to do Corellia again after we do it one more time after this. One more full time after this. I thought about it, Mr. Red, but honestly, I think I need a little bit of a break from that insanity. And I want to get Jedi Knight out of the way, too. Yes, we will have to do Corellia and all these planets one last time. And we charge out into the orcs, the Urukai. Oh, yep, Psychotic is correct, and God, it sucked. Yeah, everything we're dealing with right now is honestly not as bad as it used to be. Which, if that's not a damning statement, I don't know what is. Yeah, I actually remember dying several times to both the Barris and the Thanaton fight back in the day. And that was after the initial launch. That was probably about 6 or 7 months in, something like that. Trying, Kay. Trying. It's not working out all that great, but I'm trying. Go away. What about Malgus? Okay, so that's... Oh, really? Anyways. So, Dr. Butcher sent deets. Up a little bit here. That's not... Okay, so let me explain my point a little bit here. What I mean by needing details is I actually mean that. I don't just mean, you know, we were talking about the judge thing. I already caught that. So, what's the crime? Because that's what matters. If someone commits a crime, that is a crime over in Yahoo Land, and then flees to the Empire for assistance, what matters is what the crime is. Because killing people tends to be a crime here, there, and everywhere. In other words, if they were actually guilty of murder, then they're a murderer. So... Is anything hard in Tor? Yeah! Okay. Moving on. It's just... Ooh. Let's see. Based on what I know about the First Punic War, which actually I've studied before Simplified did his thing, could Carthage have won? No. Carthage was too much of a mess for too long, and was never actually going to have what was necessary to win that war. The only way Carthage could have won is if it wasn't Carthage. That's the simplest way to explain that. And at that point, they're not Carthage. Like, if you dropped back in time and just somehow magically took over Carthage, yeah, you could win that war. But actual Carthage? No, they were screwed from day one. Let me put it to you this way, Mr. Red. This isn't really an accurate way to put it, but think about it this way. Would you say WoW is an easy game? If you have enough time, yes. Well, then you are wrong. You are astonishingly wrong. I don't think I've ever heard you be as wrong about anything as that in your entire life. No offense. Have you ever done any of the actually hard content in WoW? Oh, why would you? For the fun, for the challenge, for the engagement, to enjoy it, to get more caffeine. You got caffeine, by the way, right? Okay, good. Caffeine is good. For other people. For me, it just gives me headaches. Could you imagine, like, any of you who drink caffeine, could you imagine if caffeine gave you a headache like it did to me? Like, what would that do to your life? Cool. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Yeah, me, I just have coffee ice cream. It tastes good. I remember that one too, Hazardous. Sadly. Anyways, point being, you'll forgive me for coming down on you like a ton of bricks, Mr. Red, but you are very wrong. Speaking as someone who knows WoW inside and out.
Calling as instructed, Dina. The Baharan droid factory's up and running.
Perfect. Your disaster relief droids should be ready. You can use the remotes to control them. I'm impressed. It would have taken the workers weeks to reopen the factory.
Gotta flirt! Gotta flirt! Must flirt.
Beautiful women are a nice motivator.
Let's hope the Empire has some in their lab. The droids will get you inside the lab, but the Empire's gotten their hands on Dennison Varric, one of the best scientists on Corellia. The prototype droids are Varric's work, as are the lab's security systems, the deadliest in the galaxy.
Is Varric an Imperial hostage or an ally?
I couldn't contact anyone inside the lab. If he is a traitor, you'll find out fast. Once you're inside the lab, find the testing grounds. Varric, his team, and the Empire's droids should all be there. Destroy the droids and the Republic's supply runs will make it through Labor Valley. Councillor Belos guarantees it.
Thank you for all you've done.
Councillor Belos helped you. I'm just his assistant. Comm General Aves as soon as you have control. Use the lab comm system. The Empire's monitoring Republic frequencies. I should return to my work for the Councillor. It was a pleasure.
Now, what Dakota says is fair, so let's redefine this. I was actually going to do this anyways, but I was in the middle of a cutscene. Darth Iliani will not... Anyways. So, is leveling in WoW hard? No, leveling in WoW is piss easy, as it should be. Is leveling in Tor hard? No, leveling in Tor is piss easy, it's just tedious. Is leveling in FF14 hard? No, it's piss easy, as it should be. That probably should say all it needs to say. Is there hard content in all three of the games I just mentioned? Yeah, absolutely. But if you want hard leveling, then... I'd have to actually think about that to think of a game that actually has hard leveling. I'm not sure about EverQuest. I mean, EverQuest is certainly punishing, and it's easy to lose levels. And it's extraordinarily tedious. But as we've talked about many times, I don't really qualify tedium as difficult. This feels like we should work. I do it just for you, Mike Romano. Leveling in Dark Souls. Actually, yeah, I could kind of see that. I could kind of see that. I suppose if we're counting potential for failure and how hard you have to work to not screw up, which I'm willing to absolutely give, then yeah, I could see that both FF11 and EverQuest, and honestly a lot of older MMOs, do have hard leveling. Ironically, I hate the crap out of leveling in literally every one of those games. But that would be qualified as difficult if we're allowing for that proviso. I do agree, though, that you can't judge a game's difficulty by its hardest difficulty, but... And I do apologize, Mr. Red. I didn't mean to come down on you that hard, but I cannot tell you, first of all, how goddamn sick I am of people who, for the last 10 years, have been whinging about how easy WoW is. And they don't mean just leveling, like most people, like you did just now. They mean the whole game, which is nonsense on every level. But I digress. Music. Whoops. My document was being weird there for a second. Are these they? These are they. I'll wait for a second until people are in range. Yeah, no kidding, Psychotic. I've said for years that one of the problems WoW used to make, they actually don't do this as much anymore, was they used to balance things around... around the people who were at the highest end of skill level. The people who really dedicated their time and effort to be the best, you know, the speedrunner equivalent crowd of WoW. And that was a terrible idea. It led to some very interesting and honestly some well-designed raids that a fraction of a % of the people ever saw. Like, I don't mean just finishing and completing and doing the content. I mean, most people never even got to those fights because there were barriers to entry for those fights. Oof. Oh, I love the Rogue Legendary Quest chain, personally. Oh god, Cord's dead. What happened? Where are we at? Where's Cord? Cord's way over there. Because he's going towards that. Oh, Jesus. I'm just gonna chill here. Yeah, Noxoramus, the original Noxoramus. The original Sunwell. Sunwell, before they patched it, was bonkers hard. And I don't actually mean in a bad way. I mean, they actually sat down and designed a properly, very difficult raid. Just the trash in that was harder than most actual boss fights. Alright, Giga says I have to ignore Cord. Very well done. Death to Cord, and to the living! That count? Oh, I gotta actually heal him. There you go. Gord was like, I hate everything! Especially music. Anyways. So... Questions. Here comes a new fighter. Still love that name. It says, has there been a single point in any media that completely ruined your interest in a story? You use the Bioshock Infinite example. Yes! That actually happens to me probably more often than it probably should. It's happened on this very show, actually. There have been times where I've been in the middle of a review, and I was positive on a game, and then I played more of it. And that's... Yeah, that's more common than not. I don't know what else to say about that. Yeah, Wasteland 3 lost me pretty hard. I had to actually tell people who were present that I don't actually dislike the game as a whole, just because of how much I hated the outro and the DLCs, which we did effectively last. Okami just went downhill. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I actually quit. Just, ugh. So yeah, it's one of the reasons why I tend to not want to give out positives too early. Because of some, I call it the honeymoon period. I try to make sure I'm out of the honeymoon period before I really start to judge a game. Especially if I just played a bad game right before it. Yeah, Master Quest. Oh, God. So, if you remember, Ross, the first, I think, 3 dungeons in Master Quest all got positives. Because they were good. I was like, oh, yeah, this is great. And then we got to the 4th dungeon, which was the Forest Temple, and it was just like, oh, this is much worse. Then we got to the 5th dungeon. Then we got to the 6th dungeon. And it actually started going downhill as we got further into Master Quest, and my mood just plummeted. What are we looking for here? Oh, torpedoes. Oh, I didn't actually collect the thing. I suppose I should do that. Except I can't. Fascinating. Will it respawn? There it is. Oh, God, yeah, by the time we got to Master Shadow Temple and Master Spirit Temple, I was done with that nonsense. I was not in a mood. And yeah, GTA 4, I had forgotten how much GTA 4's gameplay just nosedived until we did that review, and it was just, wow! I'm pretty sure Master Quest was a net negative, so it's probably higher, Ross. I think it's actually a combination of 3 things, Mr. Red. I think on the one hand, the elitists are absolutely part of the problem, as they usually are. Because, again, WoW tried to cater to that crowd for entirely too long. Never mind the people who insist that all PvE content is easy. Yes, all of it, in any game ever. Those people are morons, but let's not get into that right now. Then there's the crowd of people who were constantly crying for harder and harder and harder stuff, which led to kind of this repeating feedback loop of death. Anthem. Oh, Jesus Christ, Anthem. Do you remember that last dungeon in Anthem? Because to this day, I remember the last dungeon of Anthem, if you could call it that. So that's problem A, is the elitists. Problem B, Blizzard. Even back in the day, Blizzard fed into that crowd way too much. Now, it's obvious to understand why. A lot of the development team were that crowd. They were the elite raiders from EverQuest. And then they moved on to development and they started making WoW. On the one hand, that led to some of the best raid design in the history of gaming. And on the other hand, it led to this crap. It's the one, Astrus. God. It does, Dr. Winter, and that's the other problem. A lot of the high-end crowd had multiple accounts in order to be able to maximize their harvesting and their leveling and just all sorts of stuff, so they were literally making more level off of those people, even though it was just subscriptions at that point in history. Don't even get me started about Molten Core. Anyways, third problem. I don't know what to call this. It's just mimetic momentum. Someone repeats, someone says something, and then it gets repeated, and then it gets repeated, and it's a meme. It just kind of spreads in the traditional sense of the word. And enough people repeated the idea that WoW is the baby game for babies that it just kind of got spread and spread and spread. Now, you're probably thinking, but lore, leveling is easy in WoW. And yes, it is. But it always was. The people who insist that it ever was... See, that's the part of my point overall. And I know you know this, Mr. Ed, so forget... I just need to get this off my chest. The problem is a lot of people insist that WoW used to be hard to level. And they're wrong. WoW used to be tedious to level, but very easy. Now, WoW is quick to level and easy. That's it. That's it. That's the difference. That's the distinction. Right there. And good! I actually enjoy leveling in WoW. Because they made it better. God! Sorry. Got it off my chest. We're good. We're good. We've gotten our mandatory WoW talk in another MMO. We have to do that for every MMO we cover. By the way, LOL hazardous. Yeah, we just have to cover WoW every game from now on. Mass Effect? WoW. Final Fantasy Tactics? WoW. Black Desert Online? WoW. This is the final boss song from the robot, I can't think of his name, story arc in Saga Frontier? It's the PS1 Saga game. Barbie's Mall Adventure, Gigaputty. Anyways, Mr. Red says, who is the prettiest princess in this setting? Vet. Am I wrong? Let's see. Have I ever turned on a video game before? I feel like I just answered this question. Vittorio says, have you ever turned on a video game? As in, wow, I'm loving this game, to burn it with a fire. If so, which game fits this description? Every game we just talked about. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Okami. I've already forgotten all the list. It was a big old list. We just went through it a bunch. There's a lot of games I've fallen out of love with while playing them. We will not consider multiplayer because we are not reviewing a copy of WoW, or excuse me, a copy of Mass Effect that has multiplayer. So by definition, since it is not in the game, we will not be considering that. Yeah, Tales of Arise. I was actually enjoying Tales of Arise quite a bit. Then it kept going. No, I agree. It's a damn shame. It is an absolutely damn shame that they didn't keep going with that. FF14 is actually a really good choice for someone who has never played an MMO before. And I mean that. It's actually rather obtuse, despite being also very noob-friendly. It has a very solid story, good class design, and once you get to the good stuff, it has good stuff. I know what you're thinking, but then you have to get to the good stuff. And yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem every MMO has. You have to get through the gluck to get to the good. That's normal. Let's see. How many other Force sects are there in the rewrite? I have no idea. I honestly haven't thought about it. I mean, the idea is for there to be dozens, if not hundreds, of other Force factions. So, what's more likely to happen, rather than sitting down and coming up with 100 different unique factions, is we're probably going to invent them as we need them. You know, we have a story where we need another Force faction that isn't the Jedi or the Sith. There we go. There they are. Because any Force faction that isn't the Jedi or the Sith is, by definition, probably going to be very localized. There are so many elites in this goddamn place. Elites and packs of mob. I hate this place so much. FF14 is unfortunately single-player heavy, yes. And I do say unfortunately. I gave the game quite a few negatives for that. I do like space dragons. Do you have any other characters that are light or dark 5? I don't know. I don't think I do. Because I think if I check this, and I don't have this unlocked, I don't think I have it. So I'm going to go with no. It's true, Dakota.
Stay where you are, all of you. I won't let you cause any more damage. Those doors were pure Durasteel, at least 5 layers thick. How did you even get inside?
Disaster relief droids don't care how thick your doors are.
Of course. I should have accounted for that. Oh, the Republic troops, yeah. A terrible business. I can assure you, my droids are not responsible. They're equipped for combat, but only for defensive purposes. There's no need to destroy them.
I'm afraid that's just not true.
I don't know what you're talking about. I won't argue with an armed intruder. Just give me a moment to make the proper adjustments. These droids are my greatest work. I can't allow you to destroy them. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, if you insist, let's fight your prototype. I don't know if you know this, but a prototype is usually not something that's really good or useful. Now, I know it's easy to misunderstand that. Probably because you're extremely stupid. Let me make this very, very clear. So, that's what a prototype is. Any questions?
Those droids could destroy speeders mid-flight. They were tested against the Empire's strongest men.
Uh-huh.
Yes. The droids were made for the Empire. I supported the Council's decision. I'm not ashamed. The Republic's falling, and they expect brilliant men like me to go down with her. I won't do it.
Wake me when you're done.
I don't expect you to understand. Things being what they are, I'm the one who has to adapt. If the Republic is Corellia's future, I'm willing to look past my political views. You've seen my designs in action. I could create similar things for the Republic, if they'll have me.
Why is that the dark side choice, to have him help the Republic? Why is that the dark side choice?
If you're willing, the Republic could use your skills.
I'll let my staff know. Thank you for this chance. The Republic may be smarter than I thought.
We also don't have an option to kill him, if you caught that.
General Aves, the Empire's droids have been destroyed.
The General's a little busy right now, so you get me. Corsac will be there to deal with Dennis and Varric soon. I wasn't expecting the Councilor's information to check out. For your sake, I'm glad it did.
Still don't trust him, even though as a smuggler I know he's a traitor?
Counselor Balos will have other chances to turn on us.
If he's smart, he won't take them. If he isn't, he gets to deal with me. With Labor Valley under control, the Republic set their sights on Axial Park. The Empire's launched a major offensive to keep us out. Armies, walkers, trenches, they're already calling it the Battle of Axial Park. General Aves needs all the help he can get.
I'll be there shortly.
Axial Park is just a tram ride away from Capitol Square. We win this battle, and the Empire's cornered. Head to Axial Park and check in with the General. He'll tell you what to do.
Cool. Oh my god. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just gonna warp. I'm just gonna warp. Slam the reset button. I remember that one, Mega Spellman Spogman. Can hyperspace be used on a planetary level and be basically a teleporter? No. So, one of the biggest reasons for that is that the planet that you are on is simply generating too much gravity, and therefore its mass shadow is so huge that the moment you entered hyperspace on a planet, you would be smeared across everything and you'd be gone. So, you know, doing something like constantly doing micro hyperspace jumps while dodging in and out of space stations and planets, not possible. Cough, cough.
I got what you wanted.
Supply cache. That's mostly intact. Thank you. I'll see the Resistance gets it before I was supposed to help the Resistance and I failed. That can't happen again. I'm returning to Tython.
Don't be such a crybaby.
I'll be sure to meditate on that. Thank you again for your help. Go away. Yes, Morganite. If you want to play FF14 with a friend, like as a co-op game, sucks to be you. FF14 is actively co-op unfriendly. Like, it's hostile to co-op gameplay. And that drives me batty, because I like to play MMOs with my friends. So...
I don't believe it. I didn't think anyone could stop that factory from blowing sky high. That was a hell of a risk, and a whole lot of people owe you their lives.
It's all part of the service.
Wish we had more people like you fighting the good fight. Be safe out there.
I mean, you like it, might like it more than Tori, though, but I gotta warn you. FF14 takes a lot longer to get good. Like, honestly, I would say it doesn't really get good till Shadow. Although there are some peaks in quality as they go along. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm just... okay. Effectively, yes, Warpcore. Why would you want to wear a bandana, Gum-Gum? Especially in the army. You're alive! And you got all the torpedo charges. You saved everyone in the whole sector. With people like you on our side, we'll take back Corellia yet. Thanks to you, we've got a fighting chance in this sector. The Empire's not getting rid of us that easy. Yeah, exactly. The story and combat in FF14 stay bland until at least post-50. Even that's a little bit debatable. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. The story peaks up a couple of times in ARR, but only to the point of being serviceable. Then when you get to Heavensward, the story gets substantially better, but the gameplay actually gets worse in several ways. By the time you get to Stormblood, the dungeon design and class design start to really come into their own, so you start to have fun at the gameplay axis. But the vanilla story of Stormblood is absolutely terrible. However, the patch content of Stormblood starts to go up in quality again. Then you get to Shadowbringers, which has great gameplay and great story, as long as you skip the optional raids. By the time you get to Endwalker, you get back to being a mixed bag, although Endwalker isn't done yet. And that's the super summary of FF14. It is, however, aggressively solo-friendly. Again, to its detriment, in my opinion. Let's see here. Have I ever played Splinter Cell? Unfortunately, no. If the Arkhamverse Batman exists in the real world, would he be considered superhuman? Yes. Gun to your head, what's your favorite breakfast? Meat. Steak tips, if I have to pick a specific thing. Magnificent. Your clan would be proud of you. I'll dispatch these materials to my work crews immediately. There's still time to save Coronet City's water resources. I've recorded your images. Rest assured you'll be properly credited your heroism today. Do me a favor. Go Google image search steak tips, because that's going to describe it better than anything I can say. The website's actually up to date on that, Blade Traval. Meat is usually my favorite meal. That is a true statement. I still have a quest way up there. Damn it. Alright. That's going to be a trip. Yeah, Maverick has put some money towards the 6.2 run, and I believe that's kind of it. People haven't really been funding it. I may at some point dump some Dealer's Choice on it, but honestly, right now, dumping Dealer's Choice on anything other than the thank you streams is not something I'm going to be doing. Especially not while I'm in the middle of Tor. Favorite way to prepare pork belly. What the hell is pork belly? Let's look it up here. Oh, bacon. Well, no.
Found your men. They're gonna be okay.
The Imperials have been tearing us up good lately. Seen too many good men cut down. That'll be able to send at least a few back to their families safe and sound. Yeah, you're welcome. Sort of. You're welcome. Okay, now we've got this one. Yay. So, my favorite way to prepare bacon is to coat the bacon in a nice rub, usually consisting of a very small amount of salt, a decent amount of black pepper, and some cane sugar. Get the rub going, rub the meat, bake it in the oven on the tray with the thing below it to catch the grease, and that gives a nice caramelized, spiced bacon. Can recommend. Where's... I guess it just wants me to leave the zone. Okay, that's cool. I mean, 4.1 pounds isn't that heavy.
Welcome. Please select an available travel route.
Why would you want to wear a bandana? Alright. We're not... What are we... What's left? What's left? There's nothing on my goddamn map. Oh, hey, we've got a map for this now. That's actually new, I think. In my defense, I'm not only hungry, but my lunch is soon. Speaking of which, I'm going to go check my front door. Because my risers, looks like they were just delivered. And I'm going to be installing those today during lunch. Figure out how to get these installed, but I usually do my own cooking when I have time, which means for the last few years I haven't done a lot of my own cooking. Not as much as I'd like to, anyways. I would say lack of add-ons is a detriment to virtually any MMO. So by definition, I would go with yes. Well, no, I don't have anything that fancy, Mr. Red. You know how you got the... I am wearing a shirt, Warpcore. Playing a Smuggler today. What, I prefer cane sugar, if I can get it, Mr. Red. This is a t-shirt, that's correct. See, I don't understand the question here. Do it, Evo, or be destroyed! guess... Does this go under? Does this go under? Cane sugar is, in my opinion, the best sugar, yes. Actually, it's less comfortable, believe it or not. But that's okay. I will suffer for the smuggler. Okay, why is this, like, not voice acted? You'll have to tell me what you think of the Swarm War, too, Eva, because I can't wait to hear that. Oh my god, you're so evil! I believe is what that's gonna be. That was awkward. Where am I going? This way. So, in the canon Sith Warrior run, the one we'll be carrying forward in the expansions, we are full light side. In the one we'll be doing probably in about a week and a half, no, maybe more longer than that, we will be extraordinarily dark side. Moon sugar. I'm not sure what we're going to do with another Jedi Knight yet. I'm going to play that by ear. You can hear me for a second. There we go. They didn't even hear me. Yay. That was an extremely quick and easy quest. What even is this? It's... Okay. Whoa. I mean, honestly, if it can't withstand being thrown around, maybe it should be worth more than $5,000. Heartbreaking, isn't it? The fact that there's so little voice acting in Corellia. It used to be so voice acted. The jewel of voice acting. Now, just look at her.
We'll just do the same to one of their cities.
Yeah. Imperial's got nothing that can candle to Coronet. The Empire's destroyed so much. Buildings tall as sky and old as dirt gone. Now they're gunning for the rocket tram. One of the main lines with explosives. Didn't go down, but she's in a bad way. Could go down anytime.
The Imperials couldn't blow it up? I'm impressed.
Coronet's sturdier than she looks. Her pieces don't break easily. The tram's main supply line for the Republic troops stationed in Axial Park. The Empire means to cut them off. I got a team standing by to repair the damage, but they're gonna need someone to watch their backs. Have fun.
Give me the details.
My team should be in position now, just waiting for some muscle before they start patching up the tram. Imperials won't take kindly to us undoing all their hard work. Things could get ugly. Right. God, I hate this zone so friggin' much. Yeah, we'll just remove the Droman cost voice acting. See how they like it. Frickin' imps. That's heroics, don't care. This is the group one, the primary. You know, I'd say thank God there's no bonus series, but we're not going to finish Corellia in one arc, in one shift, I don't think. There's just too much of it.
General Aves. Captain Kentaris said you needed me.
If we need you anywhere on Corellia, it's here. We're getting close, and the Imperials know it. We've been on the march since the blockade ended. When we reached Axial Park, The Empire was waiting. Axial Park is the gateway to Capitol Square and a monument to Republic history. Failure isn't an option here.
I can offer you squads from several off-world ambassadors.
Solid thought, but we'd never get them here in time. Every time we gain some ground, our troops get ambushed. Between the Special Forces and the Imperial Army, my men are overwhelmed. We're about to start a major offensive into Imperial territory. I need someone on the battlefield dealing with these ambushes as they appear.
Whatever the Empire throws at me, I can handle it.
I believe it. We've got to secure the ground we have. Our engineers are creating a perimeter of trenches around the command center. The engineers have armed escorts, but the Empire's hit them hard. They'll need your protection until the trenches are stabilized.
Tell your men to get working. I'll keep the Empire busy.
Move fast and take them down hard. There's too much at stake for games. I've got my scouts working to find Special Forces before they strike. As reports come in, I'll contact you with your next objective. Make sure you're prepared before you head out. There's no time to rest on the battlefield.
And yes, that's WA, Valvatrix. Yeah, that's part of why I said I'm not sure I like the dark side, light side requirement thing. Here comes a new fighter. Because at that point, it's the infamous thing. You're basically being forced to go full light or full dark just to be able to do anything.
Captain, that dossier was incredible. Or all too credible, perhaps. Unfortunately, Dodonna got wind of the arrest. She's fled to the Void Wolf.
Tell me someone's head is gonna roll for this.
This may shock you, but the Jedi Order doesn't generally encourage decapitation.
What?
We've traced her to the Museum of Alien History, which the Imperials are using as a POW camp. High Command doesn't want to go any further. I know she was more than just your employer. Can I ask you to apprehend her now? Part of the Solonian tunnel network runs under the museum. You're the only one who might be able to sneak in and find Dodonna.
I don't know where you people get this I'm the only one thing. I'm just a guy with a ship.
Perhaps there is more to you than you realize. Kursky!
Books and
The tunnel's impassable. I told you that. It's been abandoned for centuries.
Impassable how? Imperial minefield, poisonous gas, man-eating alien tunnel beasts?
Captain, this is Kursky. She's going to help you get into the museum.
I'll give you a map, but that's all. It's suicide. Those tunnels are old. The roofs have caved in. You would need to blast a path through the debris.
Done. The captain loves blasting.
Okay. I've been voluntold. So Star Wars asks, if a portal opened between Warhammer Fantasy and WoW, what would happen? I'm going to defer that to people who actually know Warhammer Fantasy better than me. But I'll tell you right now, nothing good.
Well, I wasn't expecting visitors. I'd get up, but the med droids just yell at me if I try. I guess I'm better off than Hawkins. But that's not saying much. The Empire's new Mandalorian rocket troops are tearing my squad apart.
Oh, you wouldn't have this problem if you grunts learned to get out of the line of fire.
It's tougher than it sounds when you're facing Mandalorian elites. Those jump packs let them go anywhere they want, and they pick us off like womp rats on a junkie. I'd feel a lot better about being stuck here if I knew somebody took out those rocket troops. Then my squad might have a chance.
I can't refuse a wounded man. I'll take care of your Mandalorians.
I can't thank you enough for this. The Mandos set up their camps along the Cross of Glory Walk. Slap in the face. There's something else. The Mandos turned off the hollow statues along the walk when they put up artillery. Those statues show our most valiant heroes. You can imagine what seeing them restored would do for the city's morale.
Sure.
I'll see if I have time.
That's the best I can hope for, I guess. At least the rocket troops will be taken care of. According to the medics, I'll be waiting right here. If you have the time to visit again, tell me how it goes.
I mean, I was going to say, Warhammer Fantasy has, if I'm not mistaken, not only chaos, but the winds of magic, and all of that is horrific. Never mind the chaos gods. Ugh. And then he just falls over. Ugh. But he rolled a charisma check as he was dying, and he got like an 18, so he dies very suavely. Tell me, god damn it! God damn your soul! Waste my time. Actually, I have, Act. And Lord, ain't it true. It's nice to know someone else doesn't like raspberry jam other than me. Or beetle leaps. Honestly, that's... raspberry jam plus beetle leaps? That's just the worst. Don't see that very often, actually. Heal a bit while people get caught up. No, that sounds about right, Gum Gum. Get a good sniper rifle. And you're dead. As it should be. Okay, which mount is Cord using? I mean, we do know that at least some of the writers of Tor actively disliked KOTOR 2. So it wouldn't surprise me if the whole of Tor just kind of decided to meh on KOTOR 2 because of that. Because, let's be clear, Tor meh on KOTOR 2. The end. That's not a debate. Like, that's not a... you know, if you look at it from the right... No. Tor spits on KOTOR 2. It's really quite aggravating. Bing, 80. I don't like KOTOR 2? Because Drew Karpyshyn is a dickwad. Let's see. That's a booze. Oh no, that's a mandatory. We actually gotta kill people. Shoot. Death to Mandalorians. Like, they dared to have a non-Force user kill Force users. Can you imagine? Honestly. There. And that's a mandatory, so I actually do need to kill stuff over here. There's a lot of kill stuff quests here. My god, armor that weighs 110 pounds. Have you ever lifted 110 pounds? Ooh. I can do that, but I want to prep my knees first. Well, we probably have the Smuggler follow-up, which honestly I don't even remember. So I'm not sure what that's going to entail. Yeah, now run up the stairs with that. Ah! I mean, it's not quite that bad, Star Wars. It's more like they're actively spitting on KOTOR 2. We've actually already encountered an instance of that. We will encounter more instances of that in the future. Freaking Corellia, I swear to God. Right, where's... There you are. Come on, let me res. There we go. Come on, there we go. Probably because that was the attitude of, again, at least some of the writers, Casual.
It's about time you picked up. Dabbitt's near death. Hanley and Grissom aren't much better. The imps have us locked down tight, and you're not with Corsac, so I'm gonna guess that Checkpoint Land has been overrun too. I hope you're feeling generous, because our whole mission is in jeopardy unless someone out there can help us.
Go on, thrill me.
The Empire's got us trapped, but while they're busy, you could complete our objective. There's a network of surveillance cameras, ServNet, that covers the city and feeds back into monitoring stations here at Corsac Academy. My squad was supposed to infiltrate the Academy and disable those stations. Right now, the Republic can't blink without the imps seeing it.
I can see why those stations need to go. What about you?
Don't forget about us. Just make sure those stations get disabled first. My squad and I are in the main building. We took out the monitors here before the imps found us, but there are more nearby. Stay sharp, and hurry. We'll see you when you get here.
No, this is Cyber Shadow. Sorry. Just... I got a voicemail from the VA saying, hey, we're calling you about your appointment next week. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a vet. I know, shocking, because I never joined the military. But, I'm not sure if that's a scam call or if they literally just had the wrong number. That's why I was so confused there. I was like, wait, what? Oh, no. Anyways, whatever. Back to killing imps. Death to imps. Anyways, if Blizzard made a StarCraft MMO, which faction and which specialization would I focus on? Ooh. So obviously I'd be a tank. I'm always a tank. Tank or healer. But... oh man, what would I want to play most? That's... oh, you're spoiling me for choice there. See, on the one hand, playing a Protoss, probably something like an Immortal, sounds extremely cool. But on the other hand, playing an actual, like, mech, which would probably be what the Terran tank would be, sounds extremely cool. But on the other hand, the idea of playing, like, a Zerg tank, which would honestly probably be something like an Ultralisk, sounds extremely cool! I don't know if I could just pick one. I think it would probably depend a little bit on two other factors. First, how they're doing the faction system. So if they're doing straight up WoW and you can only pick your faction, well, that sucks. And honestly, they shouldn't do that. But let's assume they are doing that. In that case, the decision... oh, I'm dead. I'm turbo dead. Oh, wow. Yep. Let's see if I can kill at least one before I die. Nope. Anyways, so, am I? Oh, yep, I'm over here. I'll wait. It would depend on what my friends want to play. That's usually how I decide what class I'm playing in a lot of games. What are you playing? Because I'm actually kind of ambivalent. You know, I've actually talked about this in FF14. I'm a hole filler. And get your juvenile jokes out of the way. You know what I mean. I can do any role in any concept, so slot me wherever. need me to tank? Done. You need me to heal? Done. You want me to ranged? Done. CC? No problem. Buffer? Uh-huh. Debuffer? You got it. So, I'd probably go ahead and talk to my friends and say, what do you want to play? They would figure that out, and then I would fill in whatever, you know, hole has been remained. Honestly, and I mean this sincerely, I would like to argue a second overtuning negative for Corellia. I know that sounds harsh, but this is not only mandatory for every class, but it's almost impossible to dodge these mobs because they are so dense, and there's such a huge area you have to avoid, you know, deal with them in. And it's such a huge planet. This planet is gargantuan. Probably the actual single biggest planet in the game, not counting the expansions. An MMO with 3 factions? I feel like the answer to that's yes, but I can't think of it for some reason. But yeah, the tuning and design of this place, Omega sucks. The only question is how many negatives it gets. Yeah, no kidding, Casual. There. Did that not share? No, it did. Okay. It did. Thank. Yes, now I need to kill snipers. Wait, where are the snipers? They're here. Okay. Are you a sniper? Are you a sniper? Where are the snipers? Are you a sniper? Hello, sniper. I guess Lineage 2 would qualify as a game with more than one faction. Actually, now that I think about it that way, a lot of the PvP-focused ones would have a lot more factions than just 2. That feels like cheating, though. This is, in fact, a park. Caspian. A park of death. Where the hell are the snipers? In the right area. Well, maybe I'm not. Oh god, I'm not in the right area. Oh, I hate this place so much! Alright, whatever. I mean, I'm a firm believer that the faction concept should completely go away at this point in MMO design. You want to have PvP factions? Sure, but like, in the story, in the bulk of the gameplay? No, that should be gone. I mean, WoW has literally proven why that's a bad design decision at this point. Years and years of data showing how bad of an idea that is. Which, of course, leads me to the StarCraft MMO, which should have no factions. It's not really that out of bound, especially by the end of StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void, to have Protoss, Terrans, and Zerg working alongside each other. In fact, that's practically old hat at this point. I'm gonna try and find where this stupid thing is. I think it's actually over there. In fact, yeah, it is. God damn this place. It not only limits the stories, but you have two rough choices here. Choice number one. Where? Oh, that's not a class. Where's my class quest? Is that it? No. I literally don't know where that quest is. I literally don't know where that quest is. I'm just gonna follow you. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna try to find this stupid zoo. This planet so much. Option 1. Make 2 factions and make them basically homogenous. They go through the same general story arc and same general stuff, and so as a direct consequence, there's not really a lot of difference between the two. Which is something that WoW has done many times. Probably the most obvious example of that is Legion. In Legion, the best WoW expansion, there is very little faction-specific content. Oh, by the way, the other best expansion, which is Pandaria, there is also very little faction-specific content. Which, of course, leads us to option 2. Option 2 is you actually... God damn it! Option 2 is you go ahead and try to make unique content for both sides. Like Tor did. Now, the problem with that should be extremely obvious. But if I have to actually lay it out, you have just massively increased your workload for creating content for that MMO. Yeah, that is hugely expensive in terms of money and time. Every new patch, every new expansion has that requirement, that expectation of making content specific to, you know, the greens and the purples, right? And that is not good management. Yeah, exactly, Takoida. That's exactly the problem there. Okay, snipers are dead. Now where's the heavy ordnance? It's probably way... Of course it is. Alright, where's this? That's there. Okay. So let's go there. Exactly, Caspian. It is legitimately not a great decision. And to be blunt, from a creative perspective, if you do have multiple factions, you do want them to be different. Not just cosmetically, you know, actually different content. But that is just so much harder to do. So how would I set up WoW? Well, get rid of the Horde Alliance dynamic. Some of you probably don't even remember how this was back in the day, but way back in the day, there was a cutscene, which I just hollowed into.
Officer, the monitor stations are down, and the area is secure.
I can't tell you how good it is to see you in person. Now the Republic can mount a real defense without the imps looking over their shoulders. I'm gonna get my squad out of here before anyone comes looking. Thanks for your help, though.
Your men seem pretty hurt. Do you need help getting out?
They're tough. We'll make it, now that you've cleared the way. When the Republic makes its move, the imps will never know it's coming. I'll look forward to seeing you there, friend.
Uh-huh. Go away. It's not completely unique to MMOs, no. Oh, wow, I'm literally not gaining experience anymore. Because, you know, I'm level 80. Yeah, I know, Ross. I'm sorry. On the plus side, water, which you guys need a lot of right now. Water and power. Am I gaining renown? I don't actually know. RTS games have this problem too. Any game that has multiple playable factions tends to have this problem. It's just making content in an RTS for a unique campaign takes a exponentially less amount of time than making a campaign for an MMO. So it's not as big of a problem. I was in the middle of saying something. And oh, how would I set WoW up? So first, I'd kill the snot. Oh, this is gonna kill me. This is gonna kill me. This is gonna kill me. Oh, you!
My friend is going to get you!
I do got this, but only because I'm angry. Right, let's do this. Not just gonna die here because of your stupidity, also because of Gus. God damn this frickin' zone. The way I would set up WoW is there would be no factions. Throw that crap out the window. The only the only factions that would exist in WoW would be the ones that are solely PvP focused. Go leave that over in the PvP phase where it belongs. No Horde, no Alliance. Because some of you probably don't remember this, but at the end of Warcraft 3, more specifically at the end of Frozen Throne, there wasn't really an alliance. I know that's a weird thing to say now, but please remember, it was considered strange when they announced WoW and said, and you could join the humans on the Alliance at Stormwind, and everyone's like, what? And yeah, any of the Lorehounds were just confused by that, because that kind of came out of left field. Don't mind me. Minor factions is different. That's just a reputation at that point, Crazy Horse. Don't mind me, just taking a carbonite bath, you know. I can tell you exactly why they brought the Alliance back. It's very simple. So, during the development of World of Warcraft, remember, this is a lot of EverQuest developers who are working on this game. They wanted to have a strong, how do I say this? So, first of all, some of these people are EverQuest devs, and some of these people are RTS devs. So the RTS devs wanted to have factions because that's how RTSs are made, and have been since RTSs have existed, right? So you gotta have the factions. The original intent in WoW was to have actually quite a few factions. I think the number was something around 6. 6 different sides. Then the EverQuest devs talked to them and said, hold up. Well, I don't know why I'm saying devs. EverQuest players talked to them and said, hold up. Well, we want to make sure that there's a strong format for the PvP game that we want to eventually make. We need to have big, obvious factional sides. So it needs to be 2 factions. So what they did, and I know I've said this a lot lately, is they did a puzzle, because as a lot of writing is a puzzle. So they sat down and they figured out which races and which factions should be part of which factions and how they wanted to satisfy that. They decided they wanted to make it Alliance versus Horde because it was called Warcraft, and that was a thing back in the day. Hasn't been since Warcraft 2, but it was a thing back in the day. That left them in the position where they had to invent the new alliance, which, if you actually know anything about Warcraft lore, is literally a new alliance. It's not actually the old alliance, or even the alliance before that if you want to get into it. So, no, they did, Casual. You're absolutely right. I remember. So they wanted to have the 2-faction system, and so they just kind of really crudely jury-rigged the races into those 2 factions. And yeah, this is why the Night Elves are an alliance race, even though that made no sense at the time on any level. And there's other offsets of that and offshoots of that, but what I would do, again, is none of that. Not a single bit. Senator?
You!
Hi.
I assume you're here to laugh? To mock my naivete? You can't have come to kill me. The universe isn't that merciful.
After what you did, you don't think I should kill you?
Are you asking her permission?
Go ahead. I'd rather be killed by your hand than his. Or mine. I ruined everything I worked for. Everything I wanted for the promise of... Oh, it doesn't matter. After everything I did for him, he sent me here.
She has a slave collar.
Get me out of here, and I will help you destroy him. I want to see the Void Wolf dead. I want to see him begging.
Yeah, all right.
Make your deals with the Republic.
You think they won't negotiate? With everything I know about the Void Wolf? I know his plans. He's been assembling a massive pirate fleet, completely independent of the Imperial Navy. He's gonna strike our main shipyards. Get me out of here, and I'll give you all my files, everything.
We can lie and say, I'll help you escape while we reach for our gun, but no.
That's supposed to make up for tricking me into doing his dirty work? For pretending you cared?
But I did care. I really did. Here, the files of all my communications with the Void Wolf. Everything the Republic needs to know. Whatever you decide, make sure they get this.
So that's interesting. So obviously there's the option to kill her, and there's the option to turn her into the Republic. But the third option, which I wasn't expecting, is run away with me. Unfortunately, I'm taken by someone who's going to be a queen, so...
You want to prove you've changed? Go to the Republic and admit your crimes.
I never thought I'd meet a man worth serving time for. Would you do the same for me? Don't answer. Promise me you'll hunt down the Void Wolf. Go to Counselor Kaiko's. He's the only one who can get you to his flagship. Take me in now. I've confessed my crimes.
Okay. No, we've actually been romancing her the whole time, Dakota. Well, I've been. I'm curious how that goes if you don't actually romance her. Yeah, I like how Gus is just like, eh. Gus is awesome. Continuously. He continues to be awesome. So what is my favorite bread? Pretzel, I think, is probably my favorite bread overall. I am also quite fond of this bread that Publix makes. I haven't had it in a while. I don't know what it actually is. It's this really good, very soft bread that goes bad in like 2 days. But it's extraordinarily good while it's still there. I don't know, Crazy Norse. Does anybody know what happens if you ask her to run away with you? Base pizzas? Well, that's not really bread at that point. That's meat. Yeah, again, the further I get into this, the more I like the idea that Darmos was the Void Wolf. Pause. At last, we're running out of air. The door's jammed too tight to... Wait, who are you people? Where's our rescue team? We're here to kill you. Our walker was attacked by Imperials. All systems disabled. We're trapped in here. We need your help.
You need to remain calm.
Alright, okay. Let me think. The rescue team should have been carrying cutting gear. The door's jammed and there's no power. Those tools are our only way out. Our coordinates are in the datapad. Please, the Imperials can finish off any minute now.
If there's Imperials around, you'll need to move as soon as you're out.
Trust me, we're more than ready to get out of here. Make sure you bring the tools. We'll be waiting. No, it's a good change, Court. I'm totally in favor of it. We have tons of quests left to do before we move through the rest of Corellia. I'm just going to take my lunch break. Like, I was thinking about trying to stick it out, but God, Corellia is just going to be so much more. Look at all those quests I got. But I'm going to answer Space Cadet's question very quickly. So, you say, what would the face of WoW look like at launch for me? That's easy and obvious, honestly. So, first of all, one of the biggest problems WoW had at launch was they were way too ambitious. Some of you may or may not have heard me say this before, but WoW was originally supposed to be vanilla and BC and Wrath. That was supposed to be launch. Now, that was way too ambitious, and there were financial troubles that their parent company, Vivendi, was going through at the time. But that was the overall intent. I would shrink it down even more than just the old world. I would make the entirety of WoW Vanilla at launch Kalimdor. And so you play people on Kalimdor. That's it. I don't understand your question, Yada. I'm playing a smuggler. So, you know, Orgrimmar. You also have Theramore. and Mulgore, which has been established at this point, and the Night Elves. You've got plenty of capital cities and plenty of quest possibilities, and restructure the story a little bit to be a little bit more about trying to deal with and recover from the events of Frozen Throne in Warcraft 3, with the desire to eventually lead up to the next major patch and or expansion, which is getting over to the Eastern Kingdoms, which at this point is a goddamned mess. The entirety of the northern reaches are probably completely swarming with either the Forsaken, the Undead, or both. Oh, you want a tie? Yeah, no problem. And on top of that, we also have all of the crap that's going on in the southern reaches around the ruins of Stormwind. And then we've got everything the Black Dragons are doing, and so forth and so on. One more cutscene, then I'll cut off for lunch.
Those Mandalorians won't be troubling you anymore.
I heard the cheers when the first statue came back. Figured you must have succeeded. We're already deeper than we've ever made it before. The Mandalorians are finally on the defensive. Thanks to you.
All your men needed was some relief. Glad I could do it.
You've given us all something to hope for. A Corellia that's free of the Empire's goons. Thank you. If I can't be there with my squad, it's good to know they've got a chance.
Don't worry, I'll send you to your squad. Looks like I'm only getting credits. I guess that answers your question, Mike. And conquest points, very important. Now I'm gonna go get lunch. I'll see y'all in a bit.